Oh, hello guys, hi, welcome to stream. Me streamer guys. Hello. Ayo. Anyways, ഇന്നത്തെ title വേറൊന്നുമല്ല. So today November 1 ആണ്. 2 more months until the next year. And as tradition, oh what the fuck is this flavor?
What you staring at, sugar?
Okay. As tradition, people were quick to, jump to no nut November, let's just say. So I guess to all the soldiers, good luck out there. Also, November 1 happens to be fucking Kerala Piravi, which also happens to be Karnataka Piravi because, it's a I don't know if it's Tamil Nadu Piravi, like, I don't know. As of now, it's a bi-state area, not a tri-state area. You know what? I finish for both. Anyways, oh fuck, that's good. Anyways, yes, അതുകൊണ്ടാണ് ഞാൻ ടൈറ്റിൽ നവംബർ പെയിൻ എന്നിട്ടത് ബിക്കോസ് ടൈറ്റിൽ കണ്ടുപിടിക്കാൻ ഭയങ്കര ബുദ്ധിമുട്ടാണ്. എവറി ഡേ. അതർ ന്യൂസ്, ഞാൻ ഇന്ന് കുറച്ച് സാധനം നോക്കിക്കൊണ്ടിരുന്നപ്പം I realized the energy drink Sting had a blue flavor. The weird part is it tastes like marunnu, but it isn't as powerful as the red one. Maybe because I'm forgetting limited time flavor, blue currant. അമ്മ ഇത് കണ്ടപ്പം വിചാരിച്ചത് മണ്ണെണ്ണയാണെന്ന്. സോ do what you will with that information. I mean, it's not bad per se, but I don't know. It's better than Monster. I will tell you this because I fucking hate Monster because they are too damn expensive for being too shitty. I don't know. Like, so not a hate on Monster. I just had Monster once, and pretty much that's it. Anyways, background video idam.
Dark Terror: The Faceless Void is a Lovecraftian horror eager to put an end to your timeline. One way or another, you'll lock your device, whack your sense at you, and drop your health down to zero faster than you can say golden finger. Face the facts. It's time for the history of Faceless Void. Faceless Void is a melee agility hero capable of avoiding large bursts of damage in addition to
gooseberries,
bash and ultimate. Up first is Time Walk, which allows Void to rush to a target location, negating any damage he's taken in the last 2 seconds. This is a versatile skill that can be used
Anyways, in other news, ഞാൻ Vivzy Popന്റെ കുറേ വീഡിയോസ് കണ്ടു തുടങ്ങി. So for people who don't know Vivzy Pop and why I started watching it, എനിക്ക് കുറേ കാലമായിട്ട് എനിക്ക് ട്വിറ്റർ നോട്ടിഫിക്കേഷൻസ് വന്നോണ്ട്, ലൈക്ക് നോട്ടിഫിക്കേഷൻസ് അല്ല, I would say like എന്നെ റെക്കമെൻഡഡ് ഫീഡിലും ലൈക്ക് അതിലൊക്കെ കുറെ ഇങ്ങനത്തെ ഒരു ആനിമേറ്റഡ് സാധനത്തിനെ പറ്റി പറഞ്ഞു. ലൈക്ക് the aesthetic enticed me, to be honest, because the setting is hell, like the 9 rings of hell, I guess, or the 8 rings of hell, whatever you want to call it. It's that, and the main character is like a clown imp kind of guy. So it was like, yeah, the premise looks interesting, not gonna lie. I started watching one of the series which was called
Initiating combat mode. Enemy entity smashed to scrap. An enemy has been slain. Double kill.
not that bad. Yeah. As I was saying,
Come on, you don't really believe everything you see on the internet, do you? Faceless Void first walked onto the scene in the initial versions of Dota All-Stars back in early 2000.
Yes, hell of a boss. Sorry, yeah, so the series name is Hell of a Boss, and it's about this guy who runs a mercenary gig
Faceless Void would borrow 2 skills from this hero, but he
who specializes in taking contracts from people who were sent to hell to kill people on Earth who are still living. So shit like that. And I guess I like the cast. The only, I wouldn't say it's a downside, but I would say it becomes a bit overbearing sometimes. I like there were like 2 moments where I was like, okay, this is too much. Is that it's too horny. It tries to be too horny.
Enemy unit slain.
But yeah, whatever.
Analyzing. Enemy entity eliminated. Two targets offline. Double kill confirmed. Systems overloaded.
I'll just keep on making you. I guess this blue thing is a bit acquired. It tastes like Marin, but it really does have a good flavor, I guess.
The name Gorzerk. From what I've gathered, it seems like Gorzerk was a French
That's not bad.
who provided Ice Frog with map editing tools during the development.
So, anyways,
also shows up in
Njan, I think Hell of a Boss in all episodes kandu kazhinju.
giving the guy a shout out.
I am assuming, and apparently one episode comes out every 2 months. Like, you നോക്കി at least. Upload times നോക്കി.
Is perfectly balanced. The Void's
And yeah, I'm currently watching another series set in the same world. This is called Hastin Hotel. It's about people.
You have slain an enemy.
and that's done.
Opponent rendered obsolete. Progress achieved.
5 minutes. Wasn't allowed to buy refresher. Imagine that. Destroyed a middle enemy tower. Power. Ah, well, moving on. 0-0. Stop time's duration is reduced to 3.5 seconds at all levels, while also reducing its cooldown, dropping down to only 90 seconds at max level. The spell also started affecting buildings. More aggressive plays on
Ally down. Recalibrating tactics. They are entering a state of killing spree.
don't build him aggressively. That amount of lockdown is enough to kick off.
Your self-preservation protocols have failed. They are entering a state of killing spree.
Okay, this is actually an acquired thing.
Alert. Ally
Not gonna
unit
lie.
deactivated.
But at first I ranked this, I was like, okay, it's weird. But yeah, now I actually kind of like it. Not gonna lie.
Called an ultimate. Thankfully, in 6.0,
An ally
he was
has
able
been
to build
slain.
a pressure orb again to make up or temporarily.
These knives.
In 6.0,
I should have bought like 2 or 3 more bottles, I guess.
replacing Carrion Swarm with the first version of
But apparently they say that don't consume more than 250 ml. Oh, sorry, 500 ml a day.
of his damage to
And one bottle is 250 ml supposedly.
Super Spirit's Sleight of Fist. Evasion was replaced by backtrack.
But I guess yeah.
This was a passive that would give a chance to completely avoid a single instance of damage. Effective against huge bursts of attack or Not too long after in 6.13, Time Walk was reworked, letting Void rush to a location and slowing the attack speed and movement speed of all units at the end of the path. Void would go on a long stretch without any major changes until
The charger എടുക്കണം.
the visual update. This made it look more like a fishbowl rather than a cartridge. Its textures made it feel more impactful in a way, as opposed to its more
ഞാൻ
mellow
ഇപ്പോഴാണ്
older
ഓർത്തത്
version.
ഞാൻ ഇത്
In
ചെയ്യുന്നില്ല.
6.60,
ഞാൻ chat
Void
ഒന്നും എടുത്ത്
received his
വെച്ചിട്ടില്ല.
first Aghanim Scepter upgrade. which increased the duration of Chronosphere while setting its cooldown to 75 seconds at all levels. Although his gameplay is rather simple as a farming right-clicker, the flavor and lore of his spells, along with his cool-ass
Success! Enemy unit is offline. An enemy has been slain. Analyzing. Enemy entity eliminated. An ally has been taken offline.
Initially, Chronos was a one-to-one port of Faceless Void, with the skills named Time Leap, Rewind, Time Freeze, and Chrono Field, which is just distinct enough to make him a completely different character. Like a lot of other Han heroes before, Chronos would have changes over time that would make his skill set more unique
Not the
than
same.
a direct copy of his predecessor. For instance, version 0
Oh, Shonen Spark. Wait a minute. Oh, Allah, Thor's skin. At least I got a good skin for Mercury. Wait, എനിക്ക് മൈക്കലാഞ്ചലോന്റെ സ്കിൻ ഇല്ലേ മെർക്കുറിക്ക്?
And instead of it being a 25% chance to stun a unit, if Chronos hit the same target 4 times, then they'll be stunned, making it more consistent and in line with
Doris
the
was here.
charge-based spells that Han is
Nah.
This time,
False.
the spell also stole agility for each hit,
Okay,
similar
anyways,
to Slark's Essence Shift. The idea
that
of
was fast.
Chronos going in on you and ramping up his attack speed as he tried to bash
I'll
you
play
was
one
a
more game,
nightmare.
yeah.
If you paid attention to the numbers, you'll notice that Chronos was
Odyssey.
an unkillable murder machine, zipping across the map and
Gods.
freezing everything in huge
I think I
bubbles.
did everything,
Down the
right?
line,
Yeah, I
Curse
did.
of Ages would work on a charge-based system, adding to a percentage chance to stun every auto attack, and resetting it once the effect procs. Ultimately, all of this was for nothing.
Mercury
because
skins.
the pseudo RNG chances
Okay,
to
never
stun
mind.
auto
എനിക്ക് actually another skin ഇല്ല, so I
it's
guess.
almost like he rewinded all the changes done to him.
that's-
Anywho, after so many years, Chronos really
I
didn't deviate
mean,
all too much
it's
from the
better than
original
nothing,
Faceless
right?
Void.
I guess I have this
This
Quicksilver
makes him more
skin.
faithful to the original Dota 2. Because of this,
Achilles. I don't want to reroll because Achilles is
That's
good.
right. Chronos reminds me of Trader Joe's knockoff Oreos, JoJo's. You know, because they're both so good and an imitation of the original. Yup,
Hunter.
JoJo's. Faceless Void saw his way into Dota 2 during TI1, debuting in August 2011.
If I reroll and don't
Our
get,
terror in this game is a visitor from another realm named Lazarine. It's unclear why he came into this dimension, but the power struggle has caused trouble for the adjacent dimensions. Although Void's exposure to time has left him disconnected, he's quite proficient at making fights personal. Void's voice lines truly give him an otherworldly quality, sounding like a mix between a cosmic entity and an ancient being.
From a place beyond time and time beyond counting, your fate approaches. Dark portents ahead. Every day lived is a page of history.
His model takes a step away from the Cthulhu-inspired look of the Faceless Ones and ends up looking like an eldritch hammerhead. Just want to point out that he's truly more faceless here than he was in the Warcraft era. Come on, eyes in a mouth, that's a face. He was all hunched over and pretty clean in the beginning, but over the course of TI4, Void won the model rework vote, despite Slardar and Viper being better candidates. But hey, if you give the players the right to vote, they're probably going to choose the popular hard carry. That's just science. On March 19th, 2015, Void did
Oh yeah, Faceless Void used to look like this, huh?
From the Dota dev forums. His hooves were changed to talons, his facial markings became more etched, he gained more markings on his body, his clothing changed slightly, and he's standing loud and proud to show off those massive pecs and chiseled abs. Overall, it was a nice end result, although taking away the right to remodel Viper in the final round was kind of a bummer. On the same day, Valve released a great blog post titled Facelift Void, which went over a few quote-unquote
So this is attack mode, right?
It seems like this bit of entertainment was
Yeah,
done
this
to
is
make up for the
defense.
less than stellar remodel that Void received. That
I
said, we were blessed with amazing
This is attack mode. This is defense mode. Okay, great. But you can go defense mode because
full Void and Faceless Rex, who would later receive immortality in the form of a courier available as an extremely rare drop in the International 2015 Collector's Cache later that year. And if Faceless Rex can be real, then it's only a matter of time until we get that sweet, faceful Void persona. Void's
I guess I'm the only. Oh, Akwang is also going tank. So I guess.
as well
Oh
as
fuck,
gives some
recipe
insight into the realm
angalayiruന്നു.
of Lazarine. In several sets, Void is referenced as being part of some
Okay.
kind of religious
Oh
sect.
wait, has been Hotel was 4 years ago. Okay, okay, nice.
Viridian and Anita.
I'm actually genuinely interested in the world that these people are trying to. Like, yeah, as I said, നേരത്തെ പറഞ്ഞ പോലെ, it's a bit too horny because I guess yeah, there's a lot of like sexual shit going on everywhere. But I wouldn't say it like diminishes its value. But the only thing is like there were some moments where they could have just toned down the horniness.
The Viridian and Anita set makes mention of the Dread Cult in the Viridis Claw item, and it states that you must wear the proper gear to run the tracks into.
I don't know if it's എനിക്കറിയത്തില്ല, to be honest. Like, yeah, I get like the problems, like the problems that the sexual lives of certain characters had made like much more like bigger impacts. But
the Viridis Crusher seems to be decorated with the stones. The Chronite defense set is centered around the Spirit concept, with the armor mentioning that the time-altering properties of Chronite help Faceless Void to stabilize himself in the material realm. The bracers can warn Void of future attacks, and the scepter is a general symbol of sword as a leader. The injections of Helmet simply means that beyond flow of time to witness one folded in day and to walk unhindered through ages past and future. Finally, the items have the Void Keeper's Visage's description says that Faceless Void has known many forms. Forces that
You have been slain. Ally has been slain.
why Shogun immediately? So I guess the attack is
Enemy has been slain.
Chronomancy
Now
seems
is
to be
the
a
time
form
to
of
take
entertainment for
action.
wizards, but everyone's okay with ignoring it to uphold the peace. Even so,
I'll buy
Faceless
Solve,
Void has
I'll
considered
buy
showing them
Solve.
what he's capable of in case
Oh,
the
actually,
Void
Emperor
finds
Armor is
him.
good this time
Although
because
Dave Fennoy returns the voice Faceless Void an artifact, it seems like his acting method has changed, and there isn't a filter on his lines anymore. Because of this, Artifact's interpretation has a much deeper voice without the mysterious echo from Dota 2.
In Clazory, time is like water, nourishing, beautiful to behold in its various forms, and endlessly fun.
Group up.
Guardian because Koreko auto attack dependent characters are. I don't know if it works on Cthulhu card.
Hasting all units owned by the caster to 1000 movement speed and granting them phase while in able to turn much faster than before. In 6.82, Chrono finally lost the function of casting the blade. And in 6.83, ward-type units are no longer able to attack while inside. This mostly affected the popular synergy Void had with Witch Doctor, and the Chrono Death Ward combo would need a little more communication to destroy the enemy team. In 6.86,
You know what?
Void
That was
had a
my bad.
rework, changing
No
Time Walk
problem.
to undo damage to over the last 2 seconds. Without thinking, so this was a good way to merge the two skills while also giving him some utility with time dilation.
Enemy has been slain. Now is the time to take action.
Give me a bad job. I can
Friend.
stun a unit for a short duration. However, instead of now causes the unit to perform an instant attack on the target, which can proc attack modifiers. He reminds me of another character who down time. Oh, right. Here is the Mortal Kombat 11. Faceless Void is a popular carry whose limit due to his overall strength and awesome design. Just when you think
Thanks. You're ahead of the curve.
No, did you do that all by yourself?
I'm pretty proud of myself for having and not once mentioning
I can't quite where I want you.
Please.
Take this jump.
There is trouble in the forest. Double kill. I wonder who put that piece of slippery moss. Your fight isn't over. An enemy has been slain.
See you soon.
Get out of this.
ചാർജർ എടുത്തിട്ട് വന്നാ മതിയായിരുന്നു. Never mind.
Track 6 the Drow Ranger is a silent assassin who can stop you in your tracks. From her humble beginnings as a vanilla archer, she's grown into a walking fatal blizzard,
On my way.
even the embodiment of revenge.
Be careful.
I'm
Now
quivering
is
with
the time to
anticipation
take
for the
action.
history of
Drow Ranger.
I don't think I can connect my ults. Like I'm not a very
Drow
good
Ranger
Achilles
is a
player,
Two
so
falls are not a
hero who can
challenge,
easily
I
pick
say.
off foes
So,
from a
I
distance,
guess I should
using her
not,
slows
you know,
to keep them from escaping, and her armor-piercing
try to
weapons
go for an
is
ult based
enough.
style, even though like ult
First
based.
ability is Frost Arrows, a toggled attack modifier that has a freezing effect.
I wonder who put that piece of
You generally
slippery
use
moss
this to
there.
harass and last hit every now and again, as your mana pool will dry up if you just keep it on. In the late game though, it's usually kept on all the time to add to the ranger's damage and to keep an enemy in place with a slow. Her second spell is Gust. This shoots out a cone that silences any enemy caught for a solid duration while pushing them away. Track 6 will also gain some bonus movement speed for the same.
Enemy has been slain. Your friends are in need of assistance.
Series of arrows in multiple waves in a cone. Enemies hit with based on the percentage of Drow Ranger's attack and applies a slow based
No
on Frost
problem.
Arrow's level. One of the deadlier spells in her arsenal, Multi-Shot is your primary farming tool.
Be careful.
Quick work of lane waves
On
and
my way.
jungle camp. A lot of your success depends on working around
You have
Multi-Shot's
to
cooldown.
fight.
So
You know what?
always be mindful of
That
your
was my
surroundings
bad.
in order to get the most out of it. Auto attack has a chance to deal bonus damage while ignoring the enemy's base armor, as well as providing an aura that grants ranged allies and herself.
There is trouble in the
This
forest.
ability is disabled if an enemy comes to control of
An ally has been slain.
the maybe to save
One arrow. I wonder
Perhaps
who put
invest in a
that
hurricane
piece of
pike to
slippery
really get
moss
out of there.
there.
Despite not
friend
being
has
super
fallen.
flashy, marksmanship provides huge spikes of DPS every
Your
time
middle
the spell is
tower is
leveled
under
up,
attack.
and it makes buying items so much more efficient due to all the bonus stats you'll be getting. With her assortment of basic tricks, it's no wonder why Drow Ranger is such a threat on the battlefield. And based on the
Powerful team
entertainment you've
aparte.
received so far, it's no wonder why you should subscribe to my channel. I mean, of Dota All-Stars, dating back to early 2004.
Your middle
She
tower
uses the Dark Ranger model, and although it wasn't the case at first, her skill set would come to incorporate the Ice Sea, which fits well, given that the character is undead. Honest Windrunner, a character who would become a
And
major
skin
part of the
വീണ്ടും
Warcraft lore.
തൊലിയാൻ
The word
തുടങ്ങി.
drought in her
എനിക്കറിയത്തില്ല അളിയാ, എന്തോ ഇത്.
chaotic evil, so it's likely that the hero was given the title due to how much she matched the D&D description. Drow Ranger's story started off pretty simply at first, calling her a ranged hero, though she would graduate to a ranged hero adept at chasing down individual enemies in 4.0. In 5.56, the verbs received a slight buff as she is now a ranged hero, adept at chasing down and slaying individual enemies. Her first proper background would come in 6.00. While nobody knows why Traxxas fights for the Alliance, it is clear that she has the most accurate bow shot of anybody alive. Her arrows fly through and strike for unusually high damage. Her magical abilities inhibit the enemy's ability to fight back, making her an excellent one-on-one fighter. Although this was pretty decent in my opinion, it looks like this was just a placeholder, because she had an updated lore in 6.04, written by King Fear. Traxxas was a skilled archer in her oppressive underground homeland. She joined the Sentinel for greater good, and though still somewhat update the awkward wording of the second sentence, saying how
There is trouble in the forest.
excellent marksmanship to the fray.
I wonder
latter
who
half
put
was
that
also
piece of
adjusted to describe
slippery
her
mark. Now is the time to take action.
names of their voices.
You know what?
And her arrows without and the renowned ability to slay lesser foes
Be
with a single
careful.
arrow. While such powers are valuable, her true lord the same for those around her. Combined with the ice gimmick, this paints Traxxas as a spirit from beyond the grave, looking to take out her
Take
anger
this
on the
jungle
innocent.
buff.
But
Okay.
when you consider that her lore tries to paint
On
her
my
as a
way.
reformed person
Be
with
careful.
terrifying powers, it just doesn't quite add
You know
up.
what?
Hold still, please.
Cold death. Let phantom arrows fly.
Power Ranger's lineage begins in Dota TFT, and she was likely based on the rest of the Rangers, who was
Let me give you some of my energy. An enemy has
extra
been
damage
slain.
and slow enemies.
Too cold enough to challenge rifle. I wonder who put that piece of slippery. Double kill.
Number of units
Triple kill.
control. They only last for a few
I wonder
seconds,
who
so
put
this is
that
effectively
piece
a
of
nuke.
slippery.
Or slow on your target. Less's ultimate is like Lucis Tella, a Latin phrase for
Quadra
it's a
kill.
basic chain lightning strike, starting Funny to think that the prototype of Drow Ranger would be a hybrid mage and physical DPS, but with some more focus, she would turn into the Arctic assassin we've all come to know and love in no time. In Dota All-Stars 0.60, her first skill set made her a mobile ranged assassin. Sneak Attack was a basic windwalk ability, and True Shot Aura buffed ranged attacks in an AoE. Traxxas had two ultimates here. Fury would give you a huge attack speed steroid, pumping it by 500% for 15 seconds, and Marksmanship could be used on creeps to instantly kill them, allowing you to ramp up your farm as long as you had the man of the background. In this version, it's down with a flurry of arrows, but honestly, with Rocket, and it went only slow.
You will come back stronger. Mother Nature is on your side.
this in 3.0C,
You
marksmanship
have the
works.
strength of a bear.
Oh, so close.
In my opinion, you're already
Friend
building
has
attack
fallen.
speed and agility on Drow, so proccing this effect comes fairly often, and you can spend your mana on freezing the enemy team instead.
Now is the time
And
to
for
take
something that
action.
surprised me, 4.0 added bonus damage for frost arrows. I always thought this was a modern innovation since I started playing around 6.50 or so, and it's only ever slowed enemies until 7.23, where the bonus damage got implemented. But nope, 4.0 was the first time frost arrows had extra damage per attack, although it would
enemy
be
has
removed
been
in
slain.
5.53, which means there was a 15-year gap before that portion of the skill was reintroduced. I'll also add here that
I wonder who put that piece of slippery on.
first upgrade in 5.40, which would increase the marksmanship proc chance per level up to 75% at max. Not too shabby in a vacuum, but it's not all that useful in the late game, and it would be removed in 5.50. In 5.72, Drow was given a major buff when they changed her regeneration type from only at night to always regenerate. Let me explain. In Warcraft 3, humans and orc units could regenerate their HP passively whenever. Same goes for undead units.
There is trouble in the forest.
Night elves, Drow Ranger, could only regenerate at night, and it's sure to Ginsu his sweet, sweet time to make that change happen. Imagine that, playing a hard carry and from this point on, Drow's changelog will be much like the second An interesting tidbit on the Dota 2 wiki, this ability had to be clarified with a note that reads, simply increases agility, nothing else. And how lackluster it really is.
Split
And that
push.
basically covers Drow Ranger's time in Dota All-Stars. It has one of the simpler kits, but due to a combination of characters in the Warcraft franchise, there was no way you could ever try out the dead. When talking about other heroes in games in Dota, I would usually start with heroes of newer. Rest in peace. Strange but I consider her more of a viper.
You have been slain. Friend
We
has
have
fallen.
League of Legends Ash.
Now is the time to take
Her
action.
original skill set, Ash is
Enemy has been slain.
attack
പണ്ടത്തെ ഹൈഡ് ഓഫ് ദ നീനിയൻ ലൈൻ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നെങ്കിൽ
more interesting is her
I
next
wonder
spell.
who put that piece of
This
slippery.
is a arrow.
Now is the time to take action.
Based on her attack.
Bravo! You really know how to put on a show.
A solid farming and dueling spell on its own, Drow Ranger would actually be the one borrowing the spell in Dota 2, but I'll get to that later. So while Traxix served as the blueprint for Ashe, the Frost Archer would in turn inspire some changes in Drow, making this whole MOBA rivalry come full circle. Up next is Hawkshot, which lets Ashe scout out an area by sending a hawk to a target
No
location,
problem.
revealing the area for 5 seconds. The original spell also granted her bonus gold every time she killed a unit or structure, which kinda reminds me of the original marksmanship speeding up Drow's farm. And last here is Ashe's ultimate, Enchanted Crystal
There
Arrow,
is trouble
which
in
shoots
the
a giant
forest.
arrow in a straight line across the map
An
until it
enemy
hits an
has
enemy
been
champion.
slain.
This deals magic damage and stuns the target based on how long the arrow traveled, so it's like a global version of Mirana's Sacred Arrow. Honestly, a pretty smart way to run. This gives Ashe some hard crowd control and makes her one of the more versatile warriors.
Friends are in need of
While not a
assistance.
port of Drow,
Who faltered on the challenge?
at the favorite enemy, as well as apply a DOT.
Nice
As
job.
Sylvanas damages the initial target, the Shadow Dagger will spread to nearby enemies, allowing you to strike down your target.
This one.
എന്താണോ 200
Launching Wave is Sylvanas'
Damage.
third spell, and it shoots out a group of Banshees, dealing damage to all enemies. Your middle will cause Sylvanas to relocate to the Banshee's location. Or in a running away
Now
scenario,
is the time to
cast a
take
spell in a
action.
different direction than where you were going.
There is trouble in the forest.
Silences enemies in an area. Nothing too
I
nutty.
wonder who
Just
put
a good
that piece
initiation
of
tool for
slippery.
you and your
An
team.
enemy has been slain.
Her second heroic is Mind Control.
Now is the time to take action.
This converts an enemy to fight for your side, pushing the wave alongside your little critters. You can have up to 3 charges, and each minion converted awards the execution of normal. I'm not sure if this spell is actually any good, but it always feels really satisfying to convert 3 creeps back to back and watch them wreak havoc on enemy structures. So that's Sylvanas. She seems like what Drow Ranger would have been if she followed the hero honorable mention here.
I wonder who put that piece of slippery. An ally has
Slow
been
attack
slain.
with frostbite ability, fan of arrows, son of arrows that also triggers frostbite. So far so good. She's got a spell called Flutter that increases her speed for 4 seconds while blinding nearby enemies. A good escape tool for her initially fast and ultimate. Active and triple arrow. So Ranger made her dose of 2011. There is a lot
You
skipper
have
than
to. There is trouble in
with
the
a large
forest.
portion of her legs. It looks like the facial markings were a big part of her design that the developers include, which seems to be a huge part of
Two falls are not the challenge, I think. Now is the time to take action. Triple
sexy
kill.
one on the top left.
I wonder who put that piece of
Also
slippery.
share this
A
cool
friend
halo of
has
arrows,
fallen.
which admittedly look awesome here, but
Two
likely
with
translated
one
poorly as a
arrow.
3D model.
I wonder
By
who
the
put
time the
that piece
international
of
rolled
slippery.
around, Drow's model was
Deicide.
updated to have new armor, a more detailed
Your middle
face,
Phoenix
and long
is under
white hair.
attack.
To make it official, this is the design that would appear in the first Dota 2
Yay.
comic, Are We Heroes Yet?, that came out in October 2011, solidifying Drow's design and even promoting her as the poster child of the game. In time, the facial markings would go away, and her face would be slightly remodeled in the latter half of 2012. Not entirely sure why, as it seems to be one of the more visual designs Drow's have. This would be her look for the better part of 7 years, until a remodel came on March 5th, 2019, giving her shiny new armor, way more details across the board, and generally making her a whole lot hotter. Not that I thought Drow was really in need of an update, but this was a welcome one, and her new look is really easy on the eyes. While the model did kind of come out of nowhere, it does neatly tie into her lore, which remarks on her physical appearance. Drow Ranger's given name is Traxix, a name well suited to the short, trollish, rather repulsive Drow people. But Traxix herself is not a Drow. Caravan set upon by bandits, whose
Be
noisy
careful,
slaughter
wait.
roused the ire of the quiet Drow people. After the battle,
Wait.
Drow found a small girl child hiding in the ruined wagons, and agreed she could not be abandoned. Even as a child, Traxix
Retreat.
showed herself
You hate
naturally
to see
adept at the arts they prized: stealth, silence, subtlety. In spirit, if not in physique, she might have been a Drow changeling, returned to her proper home. But as she grew, she towered above her family and came to think of herself as ugly. After all, her features were smooth and symmetrical, entirely devoid of warts and coarse whiskers. Estranged from her adopted tribe, she withdrew to live alone in the woods. Lost travelers who find their way through the forest sometimes speak of an impossibly beautiful ranger who cheered at them and vanished from the street before they could approach. Lithe and stealthy, nice and hot, moves like mist in silence.
Friends are in need of assistance. An enemy has been slain. Now is the time to take action. Your voice, true falls are not a challenge,
and
I
wasn't
say.
intended to be part of the character upon conception. All the same,
ally
the voice
has
acting
been
here is
slain.
done rather well, and it knows
That
the
is
embodiment
too
of an
bad.
assassin who's stalking her prey from the
I
shadows.
enjoyed that, really.
Many a grave is hidden. I know I should respect the dead, but first, earn it. Feel my cold embrace.
A treasure from the olden
Nice
days,
job.
exclusively dropped in Silverdrag-N and is designed after her as well. It notably includes the Silverdrag-N set, a collection of gear worn by a group of soldiers who patrol near Drow's woodlands. The various items state that Drow is not part of their faction, and in fact, she has nothing to learn from them. However, she highly admires their equipment, noting that their clothes and capes are high quality by her standards, and she loves their fashion sense, going so far as to style her hair like theirs and making up excuses to wear their armor. This trend carries on in the Loner's Vanity, a hairstyle that says, "And why shouldn't I?" Drow has been heard to say to absolutely no one. Given the name of the item and description, it seems like Drow Ranger talks to herself a lot, possibly as a habit due to a long life of being by herself. But despite this, she does want to look good. The Jewel of the Forest set plays on the beauty theme by stating over and over again that the gems on these items are shiny and beautiful, with the gloves complimenting Drow directly, saying
Okay,
that we all
I
know
guess
what Drow herself
I will
will
play
never
some
admit.
Rainbow Six
She
Siege.
is the
ഇന്നലെ
true
Rainbow
soul of
Six
the
കളിക്കാൻ
forest.
പറ്റിയില്ല
Not
because
to be
of
entirely
Oh
shallow,
shit,
the
ഞാൻ
book
download
makes an
ഇടാൻ
attempt
മറന്നു.
at world building,
No.
bringing up that the jewels are in fact fossilized sap, a
wait,
richly
wait,
colored amber
download.
from woods that were ancient when the Drow folk took up
Oh no,
residence
never mind.
there.
ഞാനിപ്പോ game
On a
stop
quick
ചെയ്തപ്പോൾ
note,
download
the Spice of
ആവുന്നതായിരുന്നു.
Frost set comes with a hairdo called the Frost Spikes, which describes it as a playful crop of spikes that says, "I'm killing you and having fun doing it." Includes a frost-tinged cloak to complete the image. Just a splash of personality for the hero. But the real reason I wanted to bring it up was to compare this look to Mortal Kombat's Frost. I think the resemblance is there, but not entirely sure if this is supposed to be an homage or not. If you know, leave a comment. For the last of her miscellaneous regular sets is the Gifts of the
10
Shadow
GB
Cat,
ആണോ?
also
50
known as
GB
the
എന്ന്
Cat
പറഞ്ഞിട്ട്
Girl set.
I'm not
This
very
one
sure.
came out in 2013, and it was initially met with some resistance from the community, since it didn't quite fit the art style of the game, looking more like a waifu bait money grab than an alternate outfit for the hero. However, it does have some lore significance if you put the pieces together. Most of the individual item pieces descriptions state that these garments were all made with some combination of drow metal and the pelt of a shadow cat that the ranger hunted down. On the set's Steam Workshop page, there's a background story that says how Drow was traveling at night through the Night Silver Woods, and she became aware of a large cat tracking her movements. She let out an arrow that pierced its heart, and heard a sorrowful whisper pass through the trees. She carried the beast's body out of the forest, and in the morning, she could see the warriors of the Dark Moon watching her from the woods. To back up the in-game descriptions, it does confirm that Traxxas crafted a quiver, clothing, and armor from the remains, as is Drow tradition. The story heavily implies that the cat she killed was Nova, also known as Luna's Mount, as the Night Silver Woods is where Luna's faction, the Dark Moon Warriors, reside. The sorrowful whisper that she heard is likely one of Luna's more well-known death responses.
Nova! Nova!
Now, this story isn't technically in the game, so it's not quite canon, but on November 21st, 2013, Luna received a model update which replaced the original Nova with a more lion-looking one. Given that the Shadowcat set released just 6 days after, it looks like these items really could have been made out of Luna's old companion. To reiterate, none of this is official, but the way that the model update and set release lined up, I think there's a good chance that Valve did this as a nod to the story presented in the Steam Workshop page. Following this is a series of more lore-relevant items which follow a common thread of involving the natural world in some way. For example, the Bow of the Crystal Caves brings up that beneath her secret glades, Drow found a passage lit by crystal shards. Following the glittering light to the farthest cavern, she discovered this bow, embedded in the rocks as if it had been formed there. A nice description here, and it follows the motif of her equipment being decorated, or in this case, created.
Yeah, the
in
charger
gems of
with
her
it,
home
my
life.
boys
The bow
and
of the Howling
girls.
Wind is a weapon used to slay a wolf
Ayo.
spirit. In the endless chill of the far north, it is said that the cold of death comes on a howling wind brought by a great white wolf. Many a hunter has attempted to slay the grave spirit, yet in all the known histories, the stories record only one bow that has ever fired strong enough and true enough to pierce its side. The fact that it's in Drow's possession implies that she was at the very least able to strike it with an arrow, but if nothing else, she's got style points with that cool handle. The Great Grey Owl bow literally came to Traxxas in a dream. She dreamed in the night that the divine owl spirit called her name. When she woke, the bow lay beside her in a bed of leaves, gray feathers still drifting from the branch above. The jeweled longbow is a simple design, but it also carries a little mystery with it. Simple and elegant, set off perfectly by gems of uncommon brilliance. On examination, the workmanship is that of a race long thought extinct. How then is this bow brand new? To round out this batch of items is the Monarch bow, which is a relic from a hegemony long past. The Monarch rewards those who value lethal precision and skill over blunt force. As graceful in action as at rest, it complements perfectly the coolest of heads under the deadliest of circumstances. While it seems to be pretty standard fare at first glance, the Monarch bow is actually based on the in-game item, the Butterfly, in collaboration with Weta Workshop. In fact, the way that you would get this item in the first place is to buy a replica of the Butterfly sword, which I think still looks really cool. We can go a step further and analyze the description for Butterfly on Weta's website, which says that in the hands of the uncertain, swinging the sword brings with it a promise of disaster.
Okay,
To use the blade
Doctor's
properly,
curse.
it is said one
രണ്ട്
must
ദിവസമേ
trust
ഉള്ളൂ. I
the
need
blade,
2 more
allowing
wins.
it to wield the user.
I hope I get
While
2
this is
more
used
wins.
figuratively, the personification
They
of
get
the
more
weapon
challenges.
is a cool way to bring life into it, making it
Oh,
feel
actually, I
as though
got
Drow is putting his faith into
10
the bow
observation
and
tools as an
giving it a
attacker.
supernatural
Easy.
element.
Destroy 5 claymores, barbar,
Moving on to
frost,
her immortal
legion,
now,
Melusi,
the
Ella,
Reaper's Wreath
nomad,
is a bow
capcan,
made from the
gridlord.
bloom of a bloodrock
Okay,
tree,
fuse
a
again.
specimen found only in the sanctified
Eliminate
underground
8
caverns
weapons
where
with
battles of horrific
suppressed
violence were
weapons.
waged to determine the fate of all Drow kind. Few would survive an
Okay,
intrusion
so I
upon
guess
the Drow's
suppressor
underground to collect
വെച്ചിട്ടല്ലേ?
materials, and even fewer would even know the proper way to turn the branch into a bow. The Silent Wake is
At
a lot
25
more
days.
relaxed. It just is how midwinter drifts scatter in a silent gust from the passing ranger before settling gently back to earth, as if they were never disturbed at all. The most important of the immortals is the Mania's Mask, which is based on the Mask of Madness. This ominously states that to wander the woods knowing you are alone, an orphan of those who birthed you, rejected by those who raised you, hidden from those who might give you warmth and comfort, this is a path to madness. It's a really cool progression for the hero. Someone who's normally portrayed as cold and calculating is actually slowly crumbling to the duress of her loneliness. Also, she wiggles her head a lot, and that's fun. This item was released in 2014, and it acted as the basis for her Arcana, which released 7 years later in 2021. The Dread Retribution is the direct result of the Mania's Mask completely enveloping Drow's mind, turning her calm demeanor into a hostile and vengeful one. The story directly references the item and also expands on the concepts that it laid out. Through the
Oh,
eyes
you
of
know
the
what?
Mad
Yeah,
Mask,
I'd like
Traxxas
to,
swims
you know,
forgotten
do a
memories of
fucking
her youth. But in addition to her own repressed terrors,
Lore
the mask
thing. I don't
revealed
know,
much
maybe.
more.
Like, ഞാൻ ഇത് Elden Ring
Horrors
ചെയ്യുമെന്ന്
glimpsed by
പറഞ്ഞിരുന്നതാണ്,
different
but
eyes in other times.
like after that I
Memories of
didn't get it.
brutality
Maybe
stretching
when
for ages
downtime, like
uncountable.
Dota queue
Mystery
downtime
imprinting a
ഇരിക്കുമ്പം
murderous
like I'll
landscape
just
across
read
every
through
corner of her mind. Now,
the item
even as she
descriptions of the
casts
shit I
mask
have.
aside, she must fight to overcome the most self-destructive impulses unleashed
should
by
have
the evils
played this
burned behind her
earlier.
eyes. In this
ഇപ്പൊ ആരും
maelstrom of
കളിക്കത്തില്ല
clothing,
ഇത്.
her only recourse is vengeance
Okay.
against any worthy victims
Please.
that cross her path.
Please, Hunter.
With this item,
Hunter ന്ന്.
this gives her a
Monster.
whole new set of voice lines.
Let's go. We won.
Still
Hopefully.
manages to sound like a hero, despite having the recording sessions so many years apart. In general, her lines are much more aggressive, sounding as if Trax is focused only on killing those around her, while maintaining the controlled pace that she speaks in. A lot of the lore significant lines point
Kalan
out that she was
കൊലയാളി.
able to overcome the
Kalan
influence of the mask's
കൊലയാളി.
curse and use it to her advantage,
Season
such as when she
50
picks up the item.
super shy.
You have no control over me, Mask. In the end, I took a measure from you.
അസാമി ഇല്ലേ? അസാമി
And to an
ആണായിരുന്നു.
extent, this seems to be true, as she's able to
Oh,
express
fuck it.
sympathy
ഇത്
for
കാരണം
Anti-Mage
തോക്കുവോ
upon
ഇനി?
meeting him.
I respect what you did for Wei. I never understood what you went through, Anti-Mage. I couldn't remember my past. Now I do.
A lot more is revealed in one of her monologues, and as usual, I suggest looking up everything for yourself because there's so much to unpack. But here it is in full. This reveals much more about Drow's origin story and how the mask was able to bring her to where she is today.
Some memories are best forgotten, like the day my family died. All my life, That was lost in a blissful fog. But my time in the manic mask burned away that mist. I remember the looks in those killers' eyes. I remember the mundane cruelty. I see it when I close my own eyes. But I also see my new path.
This fall, something terrible lurks in the shadows. A creature known only as you.
Finally moving away from her in-game sets, we've still got the Dota spin-offs to go over. In Artifact, Drow Ranger is a green hero who has Precision Aura as her static ability, which gives all allies in all lanes +1 attack, and takes Gust as her signature card, which silences an enemy hero and its allied neighbors for the round. Her role in this game is more on the support side, ironically enough. Keeping her alive to buff your allies is the reason why you'd want to include her in your deck, and the utility of a well-timed Gust can really screw up an opponent's turn. All of the art on her cards was drawn by Livia Prima, an illustrator who's also worked on Flesh and Blood, drawing Prism Sculptor Arclight, and several Magic the Gathering cards, including Olivia Mobilized for War, and Jensen Carvalho. I was actually a fan of her work already, and when I did research for this video, I found out that she illustrated a few cards for Artifact, and it was a really nice surprise. In fact, I was able to get this commission done by her depicting tracks on an empty Flesh and Blood card, combining all of my earthly interests into a single rectangle. Drow was one of the lucky few to get a ton of lore support in Artifact, establishing new connections with Abaddon, Korean Protector, and Kana, while furthering her hatred for Wind Ranger. As always, the best place to start is with her hero card, and this blurb sets up her motivations moving forward. She's looking for more power, though it isn't very clear why at the moment. For this instance, she seeks Kana's help, but it's hinted here that working with Kana isn't the best idea for her.
Power is a good thing. It's something we all want, but are taught to be ashamed to see. But power is neither good nor evil. It's freedom. People can judge me now, but in time, they will understand.
Her personality has also taken a shift here, as Drow has become much more arrogant than she was in Dota 2. There's no mention of the Drow race or her ice abilities. Most of what she says in responses revolves around her confidence and her own strength, and putting down her enemy's skill. For her relationships, she and Rookmelon respect each other quite a bit, with Drow relying on his strength to keep fighting, and Korean warning her to watch the company she keeps.
15 seconds.
Keep me safe from the I have work to do.
10 seconds left. 5, 4. Time for the things of the night
Enchantress
to
also
bump
remarks on
back.
her relationship with Kana.
Traxix, I'm not here to help Kana. I'm here to protect you from her.
On top of working with Kana, Traxix has reached out to Abaddon to take advantage of the Mist of Avernus for power. This is highlighted in Avernus' blessing, and it seems like the long-term goal for the character was to have her corrupted by her quest for power.
If Abaddon isn't willing to share the Mist of Avernus, I'll just have to find a way to take it.
Is intoxicating, is it not, Traxix?
Lastly, Drow also takes a few cheap shots at Wind Ranger, but since Lirelai isn't an artifact, she sadly has no chance to defend herself.
Listen, I'm not saying Wind Ranger is a bad shot. I'm saying she's an aggressive and mediocre shot. Let's see twerp Wind Ranger do that. Let's see Wind Ranger do that. Let's see
In
Wind
Siege,
Ranger do better.
no one can hear you scream.
Moving over to Underlords, Traxix is a Tier 1 hero currently in the Heartless, Vigilant, and Hunter alliances. She takes Precision Aura here as well, which adds a percentage bonus attack speed buff to allies 1 cell away, and at level 3, her attacks become Frost Arrows, which slows the unit's movement and attack speed. Her upgrade path is based on the Guise of the Winged Bolt set, which looks really snazzy once the particle effects become active. Her voice responses and overall characterization here is an extension of her presence in Artifact. She comes off as highly arrogant, and once again, there's no mention of the Drow race or ice. For unique character interactions, Drow is solely focused on Wind Ranger, with Underlords really ramping up their rivalry. In short, they both have low depth, and it's kind of sad there isn't more depth to their characters.
Just stay out of my way, Lirelai. Hope you're half as good as you think you are. You don't think you can beat me, do you? Told you it's better.
Alright, team. If we don't hold on, it's Traxix's fault. No more talking, Traxix. You better start pulling your weight, Traxix. I've always wanted to find out who was best.
Abaddon does bring up blessing her with the power of the mist here, but it seems like he's trying to coax her instead of Drow demanding it from her.
Let me show you the
There will always be more monsters than men.
You must prove your worth. See what power the mists can provide,
Huh.
Drexix.
That was fast.
That you are worthy of the mists, Drexix.
Terrorblade taunts both Drow and Wind Ranger, although it's likely that he's just trying to get into their heads.
Drexix, a second-rate archer with a first-rate chip on her shoulder. It eats at you, Wind Ranger, knowing that you will always live in Drexix's shadow.
On that note, Medusa believes that Drow's skills are inferior to her own.
You shoot one arrow at a time. How pedestrian. Traxix, just admit that I'm better than you and be done with it.
And finally, Pudge has a fun line that references the fact that she's in the Heartless faction, which is typically reserved for undead heroes.
I'll get why Lich is here. Drexix, why are you hanging out with us?
This is most likely a reference to her time in Warcraft 3 as Sylvanas, who was an undead character. But just to have a little fun with my imagination here, what if this was a storyline that they had planned regarding the Miss of Avernus, making her undead? Either way, it looks like these plots were dropped, so no need to worry about it. Since coming to Dota 2, Valve has made sure to keep Drow Ranger's core gameplay intact while stepping up what he brings to the table. The first big change happened in 6.72D, where Frost Arrow no longer slows attack speed. This seems like a huge hit at first, but realistically, if you're in the laning phase, enemies tend to run away from Drow if they get harassed with Frost Arrows. And in these fights, Drow positions herself in such a way where she shouldn't be taking it out with someone else in the first place. 6.76 made Precision Aura global, and it gave ranged heroes bonus attack damage based on Drow's agility. A powerful upgrade to Drow's passive, this significantly buffed up your allies, especially if you put them around it by going all range. In the laning stage, every little bit of damage adds up, and it made securing assets noticeably easier. Marksmanship also received a meaningful change, where it still grants Drow passive agility, but if there are no enemy heroes nearby, the bonus is doubled. This can both good for swinging, and for staying in the background. It is something you should already be doing, but this change would shape Drow's skills for future patch notes. As a bonus, it's a nice flavor win, as Drow naturally likes to be alone. To incentivize you even more, 6.77C removes the base agility on marksmanship, meaning that you lose a huge burst of DPS if enemies get too close to you, further promoting that Lone Ranger playstyle and emphasizing the importance of solid positioning. In 6.80, Silence was replaced with Gust, basically having the same utility with the Silence, but also having the added benefit of pushing units away if they got too close. This update really cemented the modern Drow Ranger gameplay of keeping your distance away from the enemy while providing backup to your damage, slows, and silence. A genius inclusion that can't be praised enough, honestly.
5 seconds left.
After 11 whole years, Drow Ranger would receive a new Aghanim Scepter upgrade. This causes marksmanship to passively split through its attacks upon hitting a target, performing 2 instant attacks behind the target, which each deal 50% of her attack damage, and of course, they do proc attack modifiers like Frost Arrows. This was a cool upgrade as it allowed Drow to clear creep waves quickly. Pick this up in the late game. It's an incredible high ground defense tool that lets you deal with a clumped up team without getting too close.
Okay, one more game.
You wouldn't normally rush it, but if
more
your
game
team was trying to buy some time,
one more game
this
to
scepter upgrade
finish
would
this
give you a second chance at victory.
and hopefully get my Frost helmet.
7.00, Drow got
I mean,
her first set of
tactically it's a
talents,
shit.
which wasn't very interesting, as it simply
Wow.
upgraded her numbers.
Good level
And in
video for that
7.07, her talents were still uninteresting, but they were stronger.
Is
You
it
can make some
rounds?
cheesy plays happen with the 50%
I don't think it's
cooldown
rounds.
reduction, but overall, nothing to really dive into. In 7.20, Precision Aura now grants attack speed to allies instead of attack damage, which was for the best.
Yeah,
As I
I'll
mentioned
just try
before,
to
getting
win
free
this
damage in the
today
early
itself
game
because
really
I don't
adds
think
up,
like
and I think
with
this
the
is
load
more in
times
line
and
with what
queue
they wanted
times,
the
I don't
skill
think
to be.
people
A
will
strong
be
late
playing
game
this
passive that gets better if Drow gets
much
farmed.
more. So I have to like try to
Marksmanship was also
like,
reworked
find
here, no longer
games today
granting
itself.
bonus agility, but instead giving Drow a
I have
passive
enough
chance
time.
to ignore its
Like
target's
I
armor
don't
completely,
have
while
anything to
also giving a
grind
chance
yet.
to instantly kill
Yet
creeps.
because Apex is
If you
still
remember,
downloading.
that
Conduit
instant
is
killing
out.
portion is a callback to marksmanship back in
എനിക്ക്
3.0C.
conduit വാങ്ങാൻ കാശുണ്ടോ എന്ന്
Man,
എനിക്കറിയത്തില്ല.
I love it when they do that.
Not yet.
Definitely a change of pace for Drow.
I
She
guess
loses
battle
a
I
substantial
have
power
something to
spike at level
grind.
6, but gains a solid farming tool in
Fortnite
the
ഞാൻ
early
battle
to
pass
mid game,
തീർത്തായിരുന്നു,
which turns
so,
into an
you know.
anti-armor ability for counterpicking. As if that weren't enough, in 7.20C, marksmanship would also deal 120 physical damage when proccing on heroes, which let Drow focus only on attack speed instead of all the typical damage items to get those early kills. 7.22 dialed back this ability by having it only negate main armor instead of total
Come
armor,
on,
meaning
monsters!
it was only useful
One
against
more
agility
game!
heroes instead of
One
heroes
more
like
game!
Dragonite, who gain
One
armor
more!
from
Let's
their
go! Let's go! Please don't throw.
was a huge patch
Please
for Drow
don't
as it
throw.
replaced
ഞാൻ
precision
gridlock വെച്ച്
fire.
കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഒരു വലിയ ത്രോ നടത്തി.
This gave
But
Drow a much needed wave clear
hopefully
ability, and it feels like it was heavily inspired by Ashe's volley, which makes the whole MOBA rivalry thing come full circle in a way. The spell really covered a lot of weaknesses in Drow's kit, and although I do appreciate it, this does feel like a step away from the hero's original design philosophy, in that she was great at dealing with single targets, but had some trouble with crowds and farming quickly. Frost arrows also started dealing bonus attack damage here, making it much stronger in the early to mid game, especially when harassing. Additionally, marksmanship gained a mix of precision aura and its old passive, as it now grants a percentage of Drow's agility to ranged allied heroes in a radius, including herself. It no longer instantly killed creeps, and instead
Hell is
applied proc
empty,
damage to them,
and
which
all
was
the
also
devils
reduced by
are
a fair
here.
amount, most likely to make up for all the utility it gained in this patch. With this, Drow gained a ton of new tools, and her ultimate regained the power spikes it had in previous patches. Thanks to this patch, Traxxix went from a situational utility carry into a full-blown hero-killing core. As if it couldn't get any better, in 7.28, Drow gained an Aghanim Shard upgrade, which causes frost arrows to inflict a debuff on enemy
They'll never
heroes,
see
and
you
to all
coming.
units in 7.29, which reduces all health restoration by 10% per stack, up to a maximum of 7 stacks. If a target dies from this debuff, projectiles will burst out of them, slowing enemy movement speed by 25% and dealing 60 damage per stack. Again, another powerful tool which improves Drow's range clearance and tower defense to an insane degree. This allows multi-shots to eliminate entire waves and neutral camps with a single pass, and it hard counters team comps with a lot of healing or high regeneration picks like Necrophos or Alchemist. As a result, it seems like Drow is able to have the best of all worlds, and she can either focus on single targets
Though
or
you
hold
fight to
Drow
stay
depending on the
alive,
situation.
your body starts to shiver.
Drow Ranger has always been a fan favorite, and it's good to see that Valve has treated her so well in Dota 2. But is it really such a surprise? Anyone who's felt the rush of firing off like a machine gun that slows their victim
Brother, how did everyone die?
exactly why this frigid archer has been held in such high regard for so long. Between all of the lore, cosmetics, and buffs that IceFrog loves to hand to her on a silver platter, Traxxix really shows
brother,
us
what
why
was
she's the
that
pride of the
bullshit?
Drow.
Finally, when I thought we got an advantage, it just...
Well, 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 if it isn't Mogulcon the Axe, Dota's own retaliating punch.
South Park season 4 full episodes. Wait, is South Park so small? Like, ഒരു മണിക്കൂർ 12 മിനിറ്റേ ഉള്ളൂ. I don't know why I'm getting this. Like 885. Yeah, piracy gets, you know, views, I guess.
Built to take a beating, Axe is here to rudely interrupt your conversation and
Why the hell was
Crazy
there?
night
if you're
of
brave enough to
debauchery
solo off
and
with the cup, you can
damnation.
bully your enemies into submission, call their mamas fat, and execute them for their troubles. Lights, camera, action. It's the history of Axe. Axe is a tanky initiator who likes to get into the middle of a fight to disrupt, and generally be an awful nuisance to everybody. Berserker's Call is an AoE spell that taunts enemy units around Axe, forcing them to attack you for a set amount of time. Over the duration, Axe will gain bonus armor, mitigating some of the damage coming his way. Battle Hunger is a specific spell that damages and slows an enemy over a set duration, or until they kill another unit. Axe will also gain a small amount of movement speed for every enemy affected by Battle Hunger. Counter Helix is a passive spell. When attacked, Axe has a chance to perform an AoE counterattack which deals pure damage to all enemies around him. Axe's ultimate is Culling Blade. Normally, this spell will deal a small amount of damage when cast on an enemy. However, if the enemy is under a certain HP threshold, Culling Blade will instantly kill them. If this is the case, the cooldown will also be reset, and Axe, along with all nearby allies, will gain a buff to their movement speed and attack speed. Due to the way this skill is programmed, Culling Blade can instantly kill enemies even if they're affected by Shallow Grave or False Promise. Let that be a lesson to you. Natural selection is big, red, and angry.
I want to die.
Axe jumped into Dota on March 1st, 2005 during patch 6.00. Using the Chaos Orc version of Grom Hellscream as a base model, Mogulcon entered the battle
4
looking
down.
for a fight. Like a
1
handful
to
of other
go.
heroes, Axe has the joke name of Mogul Can't Touch This, which is ironic given that one of his spells literally forces you to touch him. Although I can see a resemblance, both Grom and MC Hammer have atrocious taste in pants. In his first edition run, Axe started off as an agility hero.
The
This
lucky
could
ones
possibly mean he
die
was meant to be played
first.
more as a carry
Okay,
rather than a
okay,
tank, or his
redemption,
decision could have been made
redemption.
had led to more agility items, which naturally increase armor. Despite this, Axe's abilities have stayed the same since the beginning, with a few differences in the numbers.
Redemption.
Berserker's Call initially had a radius of
Redemption.
3.5 seconds at all levels. Battle Hunger
Okay,
was
we got a
pretty rare,
Melusi.
merely doing magical
Let's
damage
see,
over time
let's see,
without
let's
any
see.
additional
Don't pick
effects
Frost.
to movement speed.
Frost
Counter
is
Helix also
useless.
dealt universal damage and had a scaling proc chance as you leveled it up. Finally,
Asami,
Holy
yeah,
had a much
good,
narrower
good. We
difference
need a
between
smoke.
its damage and kill threshold.
Good
Imagining
luck.
Axe as an agility hero nowadays seems really fun, especially
We don't need Frost, okay?
he could build to
What is
digital
this, man? I need to win this.
I can see why people would put him into the initiator role. His first bit of lore was also pretty brief. It just says that he's an agile melee hero, adept at manipulating his opponents. In a later patch, his lore was updated to mention Mogul Khan as the leader of the half-tribe of the Bloody Backslide. Although he was slain by human paladins in a war between humans and orcs, demons revived him and used him for their own purposes. A huge revision
You
came
are
in Axe in 6.03, changing him from an agility hero to a strength hero. Probably the right choice at the time, as he's held such an iconic status as a tank since then. Also, could you imagine what Axe would look like today if he stayed an agility hero? In 6.09, Berserker's Call took a huge hit, reducing the radius. I don't know if you can tell what 100 radius looks like, but you'd have to be working nuts and butts with your target to even think about getting that activation off. Counter Helix also has some small nerfs, increasing its cooldown and removing its ability to dance towards. 6.10,
You fucker.
Berserker's Call had its radius increased, but overall nerfed the duration. Counter Helix had its damage type changed from universal to physical. Its overall damage was reduced, but the cost to make up for it. Glowing Blade also received an interesting change, as there was a decrease in the normal damage the spell did, but the kill threshold increased to the point where I'd say that this was an overall buff. From there, a whole wave of minor changes happened, mostly tweaking numbers or fixing bugs. The next major alteration happened in 6.65, where Mogul Khan received his first Aghanim Scepter upgrade. This would simply reduce Culling Blade's cooldown to 20 seconds at all levels. That is, until 6.67, where the Axe effect would reduce the cooldown to 15 seconds instead. 6.68 gave Battle Hunger its first functionality change, causing the spell to slow targets for 8% as long as the spell is active. 6.69 reduced the Axe cooldown yet again, this time to 10 seconds, and it also increased the movement slow on Battle Hunger from 8% to 10%, which doesn't seem like much at first, because it's not. Axe is ported into Heroes of Newerth as Legionnaire, a bit similar to Naruto with the Mike Tyson face section. Originally, Legionnaire was a direct port of Axe, with the skills being named Taunt, Terrify, Whirling Blade, Decapitate, and a staff the Master's upgrade named Decapitate All. Unlike most characters, Legionnaire is one of many acting as a regular foot soldier in the Legion's army instead of a hero with a unique backstory. Kind of lame when you think about it, and his voice lines don't do him any good. Generic and bland as he is.
War is coming, and a whirling blade. Someone
The darkest night of humanity
Although he
has
started out faithful to
arrived.
acts like CJ from San Andreas, his skills changed over time and he ended up being a traitor, like Big Smoke. All you had to do was follow the damn skills, Legion. The first skill rework happened in version 0302, which dropped Terrify in favor of Terrifying Charge. Activating this allows Legion to charge toward
Come
an
on,
enemy,
please
dealing
let me win
attack
this.
damage on the target, and applying
Please,
a debuff that
I
causes
need
the
that
damage
Frost
to
head.
increase by 50%
Wait,
while increasing
that
their
came out
attack speed
wrong.
by the
Wait,
same amount.
I meant
So
I
although
need
the
that
enemy ends up
Frost
outputting the same amount of damage in theory,
helmet.
this allows Legionnaire to get off more Whirling Blade procs. The next modification to a skill happened in 2.014, which changed Whirling Blade's percentage proc chance with a charge system that reduced the overall RNG involved. In a later update, the proc chance would be based
In an
off how
ideal
many
world, we
charges
could have
Legionnaire
won this
has
for
on
you.
at any given time, and it automatically activates on the 12th attack. This made it so its usefulness in teamfight would be much more consistent, not leaving your biggest form of damage to chance.
Okay,
This updated does have more stability, and it really
I feel like I need to take a break.
Not sure how
I know it's like very
One
random,
crazy night.
but I feel like I have to take a break.
It's not like Axe at all in terms of gameplay.
Like
but he's got
yeah, no,
punch
I
that
had this
attacks the
entire
shank.
thing, right? So, I mean, yeah, it's okay now, but I still feel like, you know, there are some things that I have, you know, I am yet to resolve.
Axe has some semi-ports in other games, but they're not nearly as direct as Legionnaire. In League of Legends, Darius and Rammus appear most similarly to Axe. Darius for his overall look, his chase and tank gameplay, and the dunking ultimate which also clears and slows enemies, as well as resetting its cooldown upon a successful execution. Rammus is much more about getting in to taunt someone, while returning their physical damage and gaining armor through defensive ball curl. Heroes of the Storm has Garrosh, which is befitting considering he's Grom Hellscream's son. In addition to looking most like the original Axe, Garrosh has a tanky, get-in-your-face style gameplay, and one of his heroic abilities, Warlord's Challenge, is just a straight-up Berserker's Call. On the other hand,
Oh wait, did
other
we lose
heroic
our
Decimate
fucking...
is just a simple spin, looking suspiciously a lot like Counter Helix. Even though Garrosh might not be as flashy as the other examples here, I don't think he needs to be. I mean, look at him. He has a face that says, if you have an ass, I'll kick it, even if his nipples look like milk duds. Axe chops his way into Dota 2 in the International One in August of 2011. Here, you can see him retain a lot of qualities from the Grom Hellscream model. He's red, he's buff, and also, kinda stupid. The hero started out as a grunt in the Red Army and had aspirations to achieve the rank of general. After battling for 7 years in the campaign of the Thousand Tarns, he worked his way up to the general status, although he was the only one left after all the other members died.
Yeah, what, brother?
Without hesitation to rise up the ranks.
15 seconds.
Set with descriptions that really pad out his backstory and personality. The set that expands upon the Red Mist the most is the Forge Master's Tool, where the Forge Master's
Doctor's orders.
warriors in the Red Mist army were also expected to be master weaponsmiths. The logic here being that if the weapons failed the warrior on the battlefield, they would have no one to blame but themselves. The Forge Master's hammer also says that the only day that Axe declared defeat was the day he tried to forge a weapon with an axe. You see that? He's a buffoon. The Proof of Courage item also gives some insight into the culture of the army. It reads that cowards were made to cut their hair in shame. Axe has neither known fear, nor shame, nor a barber. By my count, Axe also has the most cosmetic items based on in-game items. These are the Guard of the Red Mist, which is based on Vanguard, Nightmare Blade, which is based on Abyssal Blade,
25.
and Little Wind Dagger. You can also include the Molten Claw, which is Axe's personal version of Blade Mail, and it also changes the in-game icon to match this. If you were to build Axe to match all of these cosmetic items, you should be in for a good time. They're all appropriate to build on the big Lummox. Next up, while I was reading all of the item descriptions, I noticed that Axe has a hobby of robbing and looting. To give you a quick idea, he has pillaged from the legendary General Silverdrag-N, a remnant of a crushed empire, the bodies of his execution victims, a warlord, a demonic
Humans
war
are
god,
such
an officer
easy
of the Red Mist army, the sorcerer king of Belhesed, a nobleman, the last red guard of Ogdaroon, some guy, and an ancient king. I would honestly ask him to stop, but he'd probably kill me and then steal my cat, Dazzle. On November 21st, 2013, Axe received a model that changed his hair from a ponytail to a more wild, untamed look. Given the other model changes that happened during this patch, this was done most likely to avoid having hairs that look too closely to Blizzard's character, just like how Skeleton King was changed to Wraith King. May we never forget. On November 17th, 2015, The Last Castle was released, a comic focusing on Axe before he joined the War of the Ancients. In this, Axe is raiding a castle for a big, fucking 7-jeweled crown. This story expands on Axe's motivations, and presumably takes place after his involvement in the Red Mist army. It turns out he's hired a something more named about his adventures and spread his glory throughout the world in the form of books. This matches up with his original desire for notoriety and lore, so being immortalized in stories does seem like a natural progression. Makes his way through the castle, murdering everyone with his weapon, and sometimes...
Please don't get cocky.
He reaches the throne room and encounters the Sorcerer King, who forfeits his crown and engages in a fight with Axe. If at this point there is anything I want you to be sure of, it's that you should never...
Alia, you fuck!
He manages to outstrip the king, reclaiming his body and making another bestseller in the process. By the end of the comic, Axe is ready to set off for his next adventure. Good times suggest traveling north to a place where heroes are gathering to fight, and the rest is history. The first of the significant changes happened at 6.79, all of Axe's skills had some kind of alteration. Berserker's Call's radius increased a bit, Battle Hunger had its damage and duration reduced, while its movement speed, slow, and bonus was increased, and the spell became a spell. Counter Helix had its cooldown reduced, and gained the ability to hit siege creeps. Culling Blade had a lot more going on, but most importantly, the spell no longer goes on cooldown when it kills a hero. It also applies an attack speed bonus to allied heroes within a range upon executing a target. Finally, the Aghanim Scepter bonus increases the speed duration, in addition to the kill threshold. In 6.81, Counter Helix started using PRNG to determine its proc chance, allowing for more consistency, which is always nice to have. 6.84 had a handful of changes, the most crucial happening to Counter Helix. The damage is no longer reduced by damage block, which is pretty great for dishing out the pain. However, it now triggers when attacks land rather than when they start. This ended up reducing a lot of his overall damage output, especially if you built evasion. Maybe this isn't the most important thing to happen to him this patch, but his win rate dropped about 5%.
Okay, finally.
So it's a good indication of a nerf if nothing else. Conversely, in 6.87, Counter Helix went from dealing physical damage to pure, even though the damage was reduced a bit to make up for it. However, a much bigger buff came for Axe with the changes to Blade Mail. In this patch, it started to return damage without any kind of reductions.
What am I? Oh! Actually!
This, the armor from Berserker's Call would not be considered for the damage calculation back
let's
to the target.
go!
Simply put, this boosted the damage output for Axe when initiating on a mob of enemies. On top of this, the item no longer ignores spell immune enemies.
Let's
making
go!
those pesky
Nice!
BKBs and repels near relative. And of course, the numbers don't lie, as Axe's win rate shot up around 8% in this patch, rocketing him back into relevance in the professional and pub scene alike. 7.00's talents are,
uniform.
Well, okay.
You are a uniform
in 7.06, Axe's Aghanims upgrade was reworked, and instead of reducing the cooldown of Culling Blade, it now causes Battle Hunger to
this looks
30%
nice,
of the damage output
but I guess I
target.
have this.
It also causes Culling Blade to apply Battle Hunger on all enemies within 700 range of a successful cull. If you have enough gold to pick this up, you're probably already stomping the enemy. So my advice, buy it as soon as you can. It may be satisfying to win, but putting your enemy in their place by physically lowering their power, absolutely
jump scare time. They make game in a flashbang or okay, anyways,
an extra 120
I think what I need to play,
especially in conjunction with his Axe upgrade, is fun for causing havoc everywhere. SMG
Blitz Dokkabi suppressed weapons, right?
All of this is fine and dandy, although I can't help
but notice level 20
proccing on Axe's auto attacks. I mean,
weapons.
Theoretically, you could build all attack speed items on him, maybe even go for a position 1 build. I wonder what a hard carry Axe build would even look like.
Blitz Jaeger Blitz Jaeger പക്ഷെ ഡോക്കബി കളിക്കുമ്പം ക്ലെയിമോർസ് അതൊക്കെ പറ്റും ക്യാമറ ഓട്ടിക്കാൻ പറ്റില്ല Okay, I'll play Dokkabi, I guess. Wait, എനിക്ക് ഐക്യു കളിച്ചൂടെ?
Axe is a long-standing member of Dota's roster, and for good reason.
I'll play IQ.
His memorable look, his dumb voice, and his head-on style makes you really feel like a beefcake when you play him. What I like the most about Axe is that he doesn't steal other people's videos to do iPhone 7 giveaways. And you know why he doesn't? Because he's just a cool guy. Be cool like him. I'm Dennis the Tall, and that was the history of Axe. Thank you for stopping by. Why don't you go ahead and watch these other videos so that Valve might notice me and send me a crate of micro plushes. Follow the Twitter. I post normal ass stuff.
Micro plushies, yes.
Follow Rebecca Crossing on Instagram.
I just realized what I wanted to buy.
He's a talented artist who deserves all of your support.
A big crate of micro plushies because I was like,
so if you
I want to buy some plushies, but the thing is, I don't know what to buy. So I was like, micro plushies. That's what I want to buy.
Friendly drone deployed. Op 4 is reinforcing its location.
Like everyone's like fashion brand, whatever. I don't really care. I just want to like do like small shit like this. I don't want anything grandiose. I just want shit like this. You know, simple shit.
His purpose is to make your life complicated. Whether he's eating up the land, slowing you
Dennis the Tall Pepe Hands. Background
everything in his frigid powers to make you sad. Stay frosty. It's the history of Lich. Lich is a powerful support who can slow down enemies and disrupt the flow of all phases of the game. His first skill is Frost Blast, which is a point-and-click ability that deals magic damage and applies both a movement speed and attack speed slow to a target. A small area around the primary target will also be affected, although these units will take less damage. Ice Armor is a spell that you can apply to any friendly unit or building. This gives them increased armor for a long duration, and any hostile attacker will have their movement speed and attack speed slowed. This skill can be auto-cast by right-clicking on his icon. If you don't want to actively think about being a good friend to your teammates. Sacrifice is a spell that targets your friendly creeps, converting a portion of their current HP into mana for Lich. While it's true that this spell is useful for sustaining Lich's mana, a lot of value comes from simply getting rid of the creeps in lane, thereby denying your opponents the last hit and experience. On that,
No. What was I doing? Brony alert. Brony alert. Why? Why? Because I wanted plushies. What really?
Releases an orb that bounces between
Kollala aliya.
The diffuser is no longer in your
slowing their
possession.
movement speed and attack speed.
Friendly last
This is
operator.
particularly useful for inflicting panic onto grouped enemies, or in the case where no one's looking, you can use it to farm an entire creep
I was
wave.
thinking of figurines, but they're too damn expensive. But then I was like, plushies, they're much more compact.
During the binge
Okay.
of this video, and Lich has 2 new abilities. Let's get into it, I guess. Ice Armor has been replaced by Frost Shield. This buff can be cast on allies and lasts for a short amount of time, reducing incoming physical damage for the target. All enemies within an
Sorry,
area
was in a
will
call.
take a small
Wait,
amount of
Ella,
damage
Siri,
and be slowed
that's
briefly.
okay.
This
Eppoda
damage
vanne.
also affects towers.
Like, what did
Sacrifice
you
has been
mean by-
replaced
okay,
by
whatever.
Sinister Gaze, a channeling single target ability that makes an enemy walk towards you menacingly. It's kind of like a mix between
നീ
shackles
എന്തോന്നാണ്
and
Brony alert എന്ന്
disabling and
ഉദ്ദേശിച്ചത്?
displacing the enemy for a small amount of time. Lich first chilled his competition to the bone in the original Dota All-Stars map, making him among the first heroes available in the game. Here,
Wait,
Lich
are you
uses
talking
the
about
man
the
model of Kel'Thuzad, a
video
prominent
thing?
character from the
I don't
Warcraft
know.
universe.
Like,
His
ഏത്
original
മറ്റേ
description
ഇവന്റെ
depicted him as a
Friendly
ranged
drone
hero,
deployed.
proficient in the
Op 4
powers
is
of ice.
reinforcing
In
its
6.2,
location.
You said you wanna do
small description.
Oh wait, whoa. I wanna buy micro
This,
plushies.
he was forcibly raised from the dead by the Lich King to serve as
Like,
his elite
what do you mean,
magical
do
guardian.
micro
He utilizes
plushies?
an array
Okay.
of ice magic to deal with his foe,
Yeah.
and at the end of the day,
I wanna
he's nothing
commit.
more than a murderer without a trace of warmth.
10 seconds to
Since
go.
Lich uses Kel'Thuzad's voice lines, he comes across as a calculating right-hand man,
5
lining up
seconds
perfectly
before
with his
insertion.
lore.
I don't know, like I want to buy something
As Lich
for
came
my
into
room.
Dota,
So I was
his
like,
skills lifted a lot
figurines
from the Warcraft
too
era.
expensive,
The original
and also like I
really
can't really
Frost Blast Sacrifice,
talk much about
although
the
they are
quality.
named Frost Nova and Dark
How
Ritual.
scanning.
Before Ice Armor, Reloading! Soil, which acted a lot like Enigma's Midnight Boss. Down in AoE for 4 seconds and damages non-hero units and buildings for a percentage of their max health underneath it. This skill can also damage your allied buildings, in case you want to take a proactive approach to being a quitter. His original ultimate was a spell known as Soul Steal, and attempts to steal a set amount of HP from an enemy unit. This version of Lich is much more defense-oriented, and would probably find a nice home in the mid lane if he was in 4.0, Soul Steal was replaced by Glacial Crush, which encases a glacier of ice, dealing damage every second, and causing 200
The
mana
diffuser
per
is
second.
no longer in your
5.1,
possession.
this was replaced by Chain Frost, the lovable frozen pinball of death that we're still dealing with.
fall damage illa?
To complete the image of Lich
diffuser
as we
is
have
now
come to know him,
secured.
Ice Armor replaced
Sorry, bro.
Soul
Sorry, bro.
on 5.59, although in this stage it was known as Frost Armor. In this first run, Lich didn't have too many patches that significantly
Drop the
affected his
diffuser.
gameplay. However, there were a few bug fixes that point out
The
amusing
diffuser has been
interactions that Lich
recovered.
had. Prior to 6.20, Lich could use Dark Ritual to kill allied
Bomb
couriers.
detected.
Honestly, between this and Decaying Soil, Lich is the go-to hero for rage-quitting babies. Before 6.31, Frost Armor slowed both Black and Beastmaster whenever they used Diabolic Edict or Wild Axes, respectively.
Sweeping.
Frost Armor storing all sources of physical damage.
Must recover the
Spells
diffuser.
dealt mixed damage, which had a physical component to them. Before 6.32,
Oh, my bad.
Frost had bounced off of Death Ward, so a well-meaning
spotted.
Witch Doctor had
Yeah,
to take
well.
the unfortunate circumstance of creating another target for Chain Frost to bounce off of. Lich was ported over to New Earth as the Dragon-Mounted Plague Rider on September 19, 2009.
IED sweeping.
His lore is really straightforward, pretty much just telling us how smelly he is. His goal in life is simply to spread disease across the land of New Earth. The Plague Rider was
diffuser
initially
has
a
been
direct
secured.
port, with his set of skills named Contagion, Cursed Shield, Extinguish, and Plague Carrier, with the Staff of the Master's upgrade, renaming his ultimate to Epidemic.
Ah!
Down to one friendly.
An AoE spell that deals a small amount of damage, reduces magic armor, and slowly pulls enemies back to their original position over a short amount
One
of
op
time.
4 remaining.
This single change
1v1.
is a big
1v1 bro.
game.
I will.
Now Plague has an additional form of crowd control that isn't a slow, and landing this spell on at least that much more devastating. As is the
Aliya,
normal
nee
one. Plague
mette
Rider's voice
avanam.
acting is nothing special.
Ella
That's a few awkward lines, but at
Op
least he
4
has
Play
the
gore.
Mission successful.
സോറി എടാ എന്നെ മറ്റേ റിയാക്ട് ആയിക്കോട്ടെ എന്റെ ചാറ്റിന് ഒന്ന് ചെറുത് ഒറ്റ സെക്കൻഡ് ഞാൻ നോക്കട്ടെ
Luckily,
Play
if
gore.
this isn't doing it for you,
Live
you can at
stream
least
in
mod the sound files to change his ultimate's casting sound
I
like an
mean,
absolute favorite thing
I
in the
guess,
world.
but I don't know. Like I feel like that's one that would be too
He
confusing.
also has an alternative avatar that changes him to the
two-
Frost Rider,
I don't
mimicking
know.
the look and theme of Lich in the original Dota. Plus, he's riding on top of a creature that looks like Winter Wyvern. So hey, looks like you get two
Suppressor.
for the price of one here. In League of Legends, Lich's kit doesn't have quite enough skill shots to be ported over. However, a couple of his skills do exist in Runeterra. Brand's Pyroclasm is
Gorky live ആണോ എനിക്കറിയത്തില്ല അങ്ങേറെ stream cycles. I don't really watch his streams much, so
and punishing enemies for
I mean I could do that, but I don't know if that is, you know, ethically okay.
They also get slowed when hit by Pyroclasm.
ഇത് പിന്നെ confusing അല്ലാത്തതുകൊണ്ട് കുഴപ്പമില്ല. I mean, okay, as in like having something that is already recorded in background, at least I can predict things. Like something live ആണെങ്കിൽ എനിക്ക് അറിയത്തില്ല. I don't know, maybe. Like I already have like my reward claim. കൊള്ളാടാ നീ ഇപ്പം auditory. I didn't mean that, okay. Like ഞാൻ അത് ഉദ്ദേശിച്ചല്ല. If anything, I credit the people whose videos I watch, okay. Like ഞാൻ ലിങ്കിൽ ഇടുന്നെങ്കിൽ ഞാൻ പറയും whose videos I watch.
10 seconds remaining.
Don't compare me to that bitch. I don't know why. I feel so triggered right now. Gorkന്റെ stream അവന് പോലും അറിയില്ല. I guess like അവന് schedule ഒന്നുമില്ലേ? I hope he has schedule.
Throws out a nuke that bounces between enemy heroes. The unique part about this is that the ball also bounces onto Cassia, so in a one-on-one engagement, she can act as a conduit for the spell to deal more damage. She can also pick up attacks and bounce indefinitely.
The fact that you call me sniper or like I really like I don't know, it's like very much insult to me.
Lich's name went from Kel'Thuzad to Ethriel. However, since his name this is more of a placeholder than anything. Lich's concept art also showed that there were very different plans for the hero. Of the three that we've seen, it looks like they were heading in the direction of a zombie or imperfect corpse. In any case, all of them seem to have a natural control over the ice, and is flowing from their bodies.
Lol, schedule Allah, he wakes up and he plays. Okay, at that point, I guess that's a streamer thing, right? Like, I mean, the sniper role from MD.
Finally, his low violence covers up his face a bit with
I mean, you used 2 SS at that point, so I guess the damage was done.
The European. There we go. Lich's lore happens to be really captivating and well written. That being used his power as a tyrant, enslaving entire kingdoms to the spell.
Oh no! No! Why? Yo! What did I do? I slipped. I missed.
Fished him out, asked some questions about the pit, and was
and I have a list.
Although he's fairly morbid as a character, his voice lines give off a jolly vibe, and he
keyboard broke alaya. Adum kuda type cheyi. Adinte kuda korave ullu.
This isn't a surprise.
What's a little frost among friends?
What's a little frost among friends?
Friendly, last operator standing.
Is it okay that, you know, I want to shut in my room again? Like, I'm fine, but I don't want to have interactions with people for some time. I don't know, I feel very good, but yeah. I want to, you know, have some me time. I feel like every week something or another is happening, so I feel very overwhelmed sometimes.
10 seconds.
And in the office, same chill. I was like, I don't want to talk to anyone. I just want to, you know. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm perfectly fine. But oh, what? Bomber!
Disable the diffuser.
Oh, even idanale. Okay, no. Fuck.
All friendlies were eliminated.
Stay strong. No. Like this time it's like I'm okay, but the only thing is, like I feel like in Uchake, like I was like I don't want to talk. Like I just want to, you know, stay in my room for a couple of weeks. Like I feel like I've been doing shit that I don't usually do for a long time, like continuously. So I feel I'm doing that too. So adondana November pain ennu perittathu, but yeah, whatever. And also not to November rain from Guns N' Roses, I guess. But yeah, whatever. മനസ്സിലായി. ഞാനത് ക്രിയേറ്റീവ് സ്ട്രീമറാണ്. എന്ത് ചെയ്യാൻ? സോഷ്യൽ ബാറ്റർ ഐ ഗെസ്. ഐ ഡോണ്ട് നോ വാട്ട് ദാറ്റ് ഇസ്. ലൈക്ക് എനിക്ക് അങ്ങനെ പറയണമെന്നില്ല. ഇറ്റ് ഫീൽസ് ലൈക്ക് ഐ എം നോട്ട് വെരി യൂസ്ഡ് ടു ദിസ്. it doesn't help. Like most of my colleagues are very high energy extroverts. So like when they have like plans one another and like I try to attend them, but now I feel like I am doing. You were more outgoing, to be honest, at our party. With people you don't know. I guess yes, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I was. I don't know. I feel like this month, October thodakam, I feel like I had a very high energy going starting October. Maybe it's just that. I don't know. I'm not saying I didn't enjoy it. I'm just saying like now I feel like I want to take some steps. Fuck you, show.
Ice armor could be cast on buildings, slowing down sieges by
No.
Lich's Aghanim Scepter upgrade also removes the chain cross bounce limit, meaning that it can go on infinitely as long as
One tap.
Strategy where you could cast chain cross on an ancient creep camp every time the spell goes off cooldown, and an unsuspecting
no fucking way.
stationary drive-by. In 6 Ice armor now fully affects ranged units, upgraded from the half attack to 6.79. This spell could also be cast on spell immune allies, which is a great relief for support players all over. I mean, don't you just
like I had plans like this week, but then like there was another plan, office thing. So like അതുകൊണ്ട് I was like okay, you know what, I've been going. By the way, ഞാൻ JJK manga start ചെയ്ത് കൊള്ളാം, would recommend. നീ പറഞ്ഞായിരുന്നു ഇന്നലെ മറ്റേ yes, ഞാൻ ആക്ച്വലി JJK ഡൗൺലോഡ് ചെയ്യണോ വേണ്ടോ എന്ന് ആലോചിച്ചുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുക, ബിക്കോസ് എൻ്റെ ഫോണിൽ സ്പേസ് ഇല്ല. സോ ഇഫ് ഐ വാണ്ട് ടു ഡൗൺലോഡ് JJK I have to delete എൻ്റെ വേറെ വാച്ച് ലിസ്റ്റ് മാങ്ക. സോ ഐ എം trying to think what I should delete.
phase more equal in terms of last hits and experience. It would just be too advantageous with the Lich babysitting a lane, so this was a nice way to preserve everybody's sanity. In 7.00
anyways, എന്തായാലും ഈ വീക്കും കൂടെ കഴിഞ്ഞ മോസ്റ്റ് പ്രോബബ്ലി ഞാനൊരു ഷട്ടിൻ മൂഡ് ചെയ്യണം എന്നുണ്ട്, ബിക്കോസ് എനിക്കറിയത്തില്ല. ജിജി നമ്മൾ തോറ്റല്ലേ? I really hope there isn't anything like priority for me to go out. Like like something that's very necessary. I wanted to go to FNAF, like even if, but now I feel like I should not because the movie is bad or anything. I would like to watch it even if it's a shit movie. I heard Top Gun Maverick is here. I haven't seen it. And there are like other better movies, I guess, but
in its tracks. In 7.20, Lich had a slight rework as I mentioned earlier. Ice armor was replaced by Frost Shield, and Sacrifice was replaced by Sinister Gaze. His talents were also reworked slightly to accommodate for the new changes. This patch also has an undocumented nerf, as it delayed the release of this video by a couple of days. Lich may look like a brittle sack of twigs, but give him an opening.
Oh, ശരിയാ, പണ്ടവന് സാക്രിഫൈസ് ചെയ്യാനുള്ള സംഭവമായിരുന്നു അല്ലേ? Yo, മോനെ, I feel old weirdly. Bullshit. Inception ആണ്, Top Gun Maverick 4D. I mean, ഇതുണ്ട് മറ്റേ Flowers of the Killer Moon, Killers of the Flower Moon, whatever that movie is called. That's there. So I mean, Lulu alla obviously in theaters, but Martin Scorsese യുടെ പടം Ekta Tiger shows ഡപ്പട Ekta Tiger. ഓ ഇതുകൊണ്ടല്ലേ, ഞാൻ ലിയോ കണ്ടില്ല. ഹിയർസ് ദ തിങ്, എനിക്ക് ലിയോനെ പറ്റി ഒന്നും അറിയില്ല, എനിക്ക് LCUനെ പറ്റി ഒന്നും അറിയില്ല, ബട്ട് എന്റെ ഇൻസ്റ്റാഗ്രാമിലെല്ലാം ഇതാണ്. ലൈക് പീപ്പിൾ ടെല്ലിങ് മീ ആന്റണി ദാസ്, മൻസൂർ കണ്ട സ്വപ്നം, പിന്നെന്താ ഓർഫനേജിനെ പറ്റി പറഞ്ഞു, ഫാത് ഫാസിൽ എവിടെന്നോ വന്നു. I'm like, what the fuck, I don't know any of these.
Be ready to engage Op 4.
ഡേയ് ഉണ്ട്, സീരിയസ്ലി. ഡേയ് ചുമ്മാ പോടാ, ഏക്താ ടൈഗർ ഒക്കെ എന്തിനാ ഇപ്പൊ ഇരുന്ന് ഓടിക്കുന്നത്? Lulu will Taylor Swift. Oh, I mean, I expect Taylor Swift to be there. Like, I'm not saying I'm a Taylor Swift fan, but I'm just saying like I kinda get why she would be there, like because like other he recently വന്ന എന്തോ സാധനമല്ലേ. Like I'm not still 100% on that, but yeah, ഞാൻ കണ്ടായിരുന്നു. Why is my frame rate so shitty? എന്റെ ബാക്ക്ഗ്രൗണ്ട് എന്തെങ്കിലും ഓടുന്നുണ്ടോ? Okay, fuck, കളി. Wait a minute.
Hardwire ready. Mine ready to go.
She tanks.
Sorry, I chat നോക്കാത്ത because I feel a bit.
Wait no further. You're in the presence of the history of Legion Commander.
Tread mine out.
Legion Commander is a melee straight hero that capitalizes on
Oh no fucking way. Bullshit. I don't know, like I feel like the global appeal for Taylor Swift completely outscales the global appeal for 8th Tiger in this time. I don't know. Maybe I'm like if I would put myself, like if I would say, like if I was a Taylor Swift fan or not a fan, like I don't know much about Taylor Swift. I'm not a big fan, so I'd most probably be in the latter category. No hate, but I'm just saying, like if I had to pick a side, I would be that. Always.
And if either hero dies during this, the winner will
the background is endo. What the fuck is in my background?
distance apart from each other. Both heroes will be silenced and
Taylor Swift had some bangers back the day. I guess, but at that point, I don't know. I think the only music taste, let's just say, I had when I was young was Eminem. I guess there were like Imagine Dragons, Maroon 5, shit like that. But other than that, then it's just basically Pokemon openings and shit. So I call myself a maestro. Oh, what the shit?
The lore is a first-person telling of Tristan's less than stellar opinion. The idea that he
Day Amaranth selling beer fermented from a yeah. What are you selling? Oh, wow. As of now, I'm not selling anything. I don't have anything, of that worth, I guess, to people. What the fuck should I be selling? Like, how do I top vaginal yeast? How do I top that? Can you tell me?
Is only 2 years off, so the balance changes were fairly minimal. Matter of fact, the only thing that didn't rescale his skills numbers happened in 6.73.
Be ready to eliminate hostiles.
Only target heroes.
Okay, what's in the balls? Okay, genuine question. What in the balls would be, outclassing vaginal yeast? I'm just saying, like.
They couldn't even be bothered to replace the wording.
10 seconds. 5 seconds.
Just so we're keeping track of the
transition.
Device activated.
And it's Amaranth. I don't know. Dude, I expected this from Belle Delphine. Amaranth, I didn't expect this, weirdly. Because I think she had a redemption run. Oh, fuck. Yeah. Where did she die? Who did she die?
Never trust.
Oh, one.
Where Tristan although they were able to fight off the attackers, the city lay
fuck off.
Operator standing.
Wait. Let me see. What is in the balls? What is in the balls?
The concept art also shows that there were plans to give her two swords.
Hormone called testosterone.
Art eventually became an Arcana 2. The item itself gives Tristan a lot of neat particle effects and modifies
do
her
balls
existing
contain
demonic reverb and adds some angsty ones in for good measure.
I've come to put an end to hope. Burn
I don't know why I'm reading this right now, but
You want some
whatever.
performers and a Panic at the Disco CD while you're at it? The first of a few major changes that lead to
Way too dank. Way too dank.
duel from disabling passive abilities. This was an interesting nerf, as LC's pickoff potential wouldn't be able to lock down heroes like Faceless Void, who had time lock and backtrack at the time, though her ability to take out squishies
Suppressed
stayed
iron
the
though.
same. Her first Aghanim Scepter upgrade came in 6.84, which causes duel to last indefinitely.
Male specific.
Although this sounds cool in theory, like you were participating in some kind
Fluids?
of knife-edge deathmatch, a Bane player could ruin everyone's
I guess
fun and keep you in an
no. I
alternating
okay.
nightmare
Never
cycle
mind.
for
Never
the
mind.
duration
Fluids
of the
alla.
game.
Male specific body substance. That'd be very weird because okay. What the fuck? Illegal in India. Okay, never mind. Fuck. Too many. You typing in Opera. Too many audio. Yeah. Day next Cyberpunk stream. I was thinking maybe today, but I'm not very sure because my sleep's kinda weird. Okay, maybe I was thinking today. Like ഇന്നലെ മൊത്തം ഞാൻ വിചാരിച്ചത് ഞാൻ ഇന്ന് ചെയ്യാമെന്നാണ്. Maybe you know what? I'll just do some today, like as a reset stream or something. Yeah. Oh, fuck you! Wow. Show your face, puta madre. Chingada madre! Oh fuck! How on tala? You know what? Yeah, I don't back off. Why did I not back off? How? Is that a shot? Oh, that's a shotgun. Yeah. Shotguns.
The story continues with the siege at the current Bronze
I mean, I like shotguns, but this is bullshit.
Announces that Stonehall has been attacked, leading directly into Treston's lore and her fight with the Abyssal Horde. Her pride established in this comic really fleshes out Treston's motivations for fighting and highlights her disdain for Underlord.
Wait. Before I market this, like she has a market, right? She has market value. She has an audience. What the fuck am I going to do with that?
All friendlies have been eliminated.
Alternatively, you could opt for a plus 40 snap to all the buildings like a strong, independent reckoning. In 7.06, the Ags upgrade also makes LC turn spell immune during the duel.
Spell immune for duel. Oh,
In 7.07, the talents were reworked, with the left
the
side
moon.
being
ഇതൊക്കെ കാണുമ്പോഴാണ് കാലമേ അങ്ങ് പോയതുപോലെ.
Also, 7.07 finally put Iron Talon to rest.
എനിക്ക് ആക്ച്വലി ശരിയാ നീ മറ്റേ ഫൈനലിസ്റ്റ് എന്തോ ഇത് ഡൗൺലോഡ് ചെയ്തിടാൻ പറഞ്ഞല്ലേ? വെയിറ്റ് എന്റെ ഇതായോ? എന്റെ Apex ഡൗൺലോഡ് ആയോ? ഡൗൺലോഡ് ആയി. ഓക്കെ. So maybe I'll start a bit of Apex today. കാരണം ഡെയിലി ചെയ്യാൻ വീണ്ടും വന്നു. ബാൽ പാസ് റിസെറ്റ് ആയി. പക്ഷെ എന്താണെന്നറിയില്ല, എന്റെ ഗെയിമിന് പെർഫോമൻസ് ഇഷ്യൂസ് ഉണ്ട്. അതാരായിരുന്നു? ആലബൈ. Fuck.
God, I want her to step on me. In either case, I know for a fact that I'm never going to choose her with the
10 seconds to insertion.
I'm Dennis Natal, and that was your history of
Insertion in 5 seconds.
Hey, so that was pretty entertaining, right?
Oh shit, ഞാൻ ഈ മാസം ഇത് വാങ്ങിയില്ല, ഗ്രാംബ്ലോ വാങ്ങിയില്ല.
My dad works at Data, and he told me that Gambler will definitely come back.
Let's go, Aliva.
Scanning for electronics. Spotted a bomb.
Given how flashy some heroes can get with their skill sets, I think it's
Can I shoot this?
understand just how devastating
I can shoot Alibi. Okay, this changes a lot. The fuck? Why didn't I know this earlier? What the Okay, so what's my plan?
Today, why it's the history of Ruby's. Ruby's first skill is telekinesis, a 2 part spell that first lifts the primary target.
Okay, I think I'm getting too tunnel vision. That's mine.
Argue that this is more powerful just because
Okay,
it
that's
forces
not
the
mine.
enemies to do a fun little
I mean, that is fine.
The area where the target gets dropped was Fade Bolt is a nuke that bounces from enemy to enemy, dealing magical damage and reducing their attack damage for a short duration.
Oh, help me, please.
Bounces are infinite, but each enemy can only be
Okay, thank you, bro.
Let's go!
Scanning for devices and traps.
Allowing him to pirate the last few minutes or until he dies. There are a whole ton of rules regarding which spells you can steal, but generally you can't steal abilities or actions. Each spell stolen this way also has an instant cast.
Bomb spotted. Scanning. Stay sharp.
Way better than way into Dota on April 27, 2011.
Bomb located.
6.72. He uses the Deep Sculpture model, which is also what Maverick the gamer used before he was forever sent to go to
I think I'm going to die.
Ah,
fuck! Play Cyberpunk today. Yeah, I guess I'll play some.
One friendly operator remaining. Op 4 eliminated all.
Dude, ഞാൻ ഒരു god level save നടത്തി അവിടെ. God level.
In his original lore,
Hey, what the fuck, dude? What the fuck am I getting in the recommended?
his background mentions that he performed for crowds using silent resist, while also fighting off wizards who would challenge him with relative ease, outsmarting and stealing
Brief.
spells to use against them.
Yes, Cyberpunk, let's go. Yes. Go. Yo. In Cyberpunk കളിക്കാം, yes. നാളെ എന്തായാലും work from home ആണ്. So I think I can sleep a bit more.
However, this also includes less apparent transformations like Firefly, Arctic Burn, or Split Shot.
Did I win any matches with Blitz?
Fine. We like you for who you are.
Say Blitz and the Bandit.
The Grand Magus also had a list of spells due to engine errors or coding conflicts which couldn't be stolen. And here they are.
I guess I could, yeah, I could just do these tomorrow. I don't think. And ഞാൻ എന്തായാലും ഒരു 2 ലെവൽ കൂട്ടി. Also, oh fuck, അതുണ്ടായിരുന്നല്ലേ. Okay, you know what? ഞാൻ ഇന്ന സ്ട്രീം കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് I will create one. ഞാൻ template ഉണ്ടാക്കി, I think. Wait, just a second. Resume. Where's my fucking resume?
Rubik was actually able to spell steal.
Hey, there's my resume.
Level of BKB.
അളിയ stream കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് ഇപ്പോ തരാം. Fuck.
6.73 reduced the telekinesis mana cost from 160 to 120, and both Fade Bolt's mana cost and cooldown were increased. Life was indeed difficult for the son of Aghanim, but things would look up soon. Rubik nabbed a spot in Dota 2's roster on June 20th, 2012, and Valve decided to make some changes. It seems as though Rubik moved to San Francisco
primitive word pattern,
and we ended up with a very different interpretation of the character.
Or should I use Google Docs? I think Google Docs is
The lore establishes the concept of Magus, a high-level class of mage that can only be appointed through a hidden council. Similar to the Dota 1 background, this piece of lore...
What the fuck? Oh yeah, shit.
Through means of deception and skill. In contrast to his
it auto-signed in. Yeah.
His
Oh, what? Oh!
voice lines present him as whimsical and curious to the world around him, if not
Wait, what are these?
his own abilities.
Oh my god, ഞാൻ ആദ്യമായിട്ടാണ് Google Docs കേറുന്നതെന്ന് തോന്നുന്നു. I'm being hit with so much fucking nostalgia. I mean, by nostalgia I mean fucking nightmare feel, but yeah.
Instead of a line that mentions he subtly reads and replicates his enemy's powers, and the
Conduit.
mentioning that he studies the trace magical
Her name says Conduit.
This, along with the fact that he wears a mask,
Experience, education, projects, skills, awards,
responses provide a good deal of insight into the
languages.
world that is Dota 2. Most notably,
Is that
his
a thing?
interactions with Invoker reveal to us a couple of
Oh! Okay, okay, wait 1 second.
One, Invoker for a time
My
in his life
name.
was known as the
What the
Arsenal
fuck
Magus
is my
before
name?
abandoning the title, probably due to his own inflated self. And two, that each Magus had an adjective associated with their abilities. The fact that Rubik was bestowed the adjective Grand speaks
Fuck!
to his
And the rest, all gone. Where's the rest of them?
mentions that Lich could have been a powerful Magus in his lifetime, although I suspect that Lich may have been happier with the whole enslaving kingdoms thing he was doing.
All good. Experience. I think I just need. I only have one.
6.75 hit Rubik by reducing his move speed by 10 and reducing the Fade Bolt bounce radius yet again from 500 to 440. In 6.76, Fade Bolt's damage was reduced at all levels.
No need to hurry.
Like this, it really is difficult to be a position 5 main sometimes. In 6.79,
anyways, I'll just prepare one.
The first ray of hope for Rubik players came in the form of his first Aghanim Scepter upgrade. This reduces spell steal cooldown to 5 at all levels, increases its cast range from 1000 to 1400, and
it's called US Technologies, right? It's not UST Global.
Will have it applied. As a trade-off, Rubik won't be able to steal an upgraded form of a spell in the case that his enemy has an Aghanim Scepter and he doesn't. 6.81 was Dota 2's first spring cleaning patch, and although there is no documentation of this, Rubik's ability to cliff enemies using telekinesis was greatly hindered. You can still do it by clicking on very specific spots of the cliff, thus putting the bad enemy carry in timeout, but overall, shows where the enemies were going to land. I do recognize this mechanic as being unfun for anyone unfortunate enough to be caught in the early game.
What the fuck? I mean, I expect the game just came out, but still, at the game, what the crash hackano? Alt F4. What am I alt F4? Shit.
From 5 to 2, and stolen spell cooldowns were no longer refreshed if there were spells stolen in between. 6.84 made it so that null field
the game crashed,
which makes it slightly more annoying to push against an enemy Rubik. Rubik's 7.00 talents weren't anything too special, and all of them merely enhance his existing gameplay rather than drastically
do I only need
pick something up. In
college degree, right?
A few notable changes occurred.
Okay,
what's
my fucking
telekinesis is once again allowed to throw enemies up onto the cliff. Skill, and if I have to confess a sin right now, I usually keep it on red to farm creep wins. Rubik's talents were also updated in order to affect his active abilities instead of giving him just raw numbers to work with. The most significant of these, in my opinion, is his level 25 talent, which increases spell damage for stolen spells, which, of course, led to some cheesy tactics. Now, it's weird that Rubik isn't related to Broodmother, because he's just so full of...
A new ranked season has begun. When it
seems
ends,
like any time the
all
game
that we
gets
left
any kind of major update,
is the smell of the rot.
in charge of making sure Rubik doesn't single-handedly kill the game questions his own life choices just a little bit more. Although not a comprehensive list, Rubik has been known to crash the game for any number of reasons, have his talents change a sniper.
Let's see, can I buy her?
Spell steal, turning into
sounds very weird, but that's what I'm... I don't have money for the next agent, but yeah, let's see. Gilded Radiance. This looks nice. Wait, what the fuck? Is she like a Beyblade agent? Oh shit. Okay, let's see. Abilities. How do I check abilities? Obviously, okay. Savior speed. Conduit gets a speed boost when running towards allies out of range with a tactical. Phantom Lancer, but for allies. Radiant Transfer, blast your ally with energy, regenerating temporary shields for them in danger. Oh, support Phantom Lancer. Energy Barricade. Deploy an array of shield jammers which damage and slow enemies. Acts support agent. Let's play ballistic. Ballistic 5 headshots finisher. Okay. About the bad. Careless Revenant, assault rifles, Dibby, marksman. I'll just do this thing.
And that is the history of Rubik. While I have you here, I wanted to thank everyone for sticking with me so far. I know this came out a little bit later than expected, so all I can hope for is your mercy because I really did miss everyone's nice comments. I also opened up a Twitter account, which I'll use to post video updates and interact with everyone a little bit more, so please feel free to follow. Until next time, stay beautiful.
Apex 30 minutes edukumallo alle. I think, like, ideally, if I get 2 games, like, enike 2 games തീർക്കാൻ പറ്റും, but in this game ഒരു challenge തീരൂല. I'm just going for ഇന്ന് തുടങ്ങിയുണ്ട് സീസൺ. I'm just doing dailies മാത്രം. ഞാൻ weeklies നോക്കുന്നില്ല.
right now. Even if you manage to catch him, all of Ricky's spells give him a way to slip out the encounter intact.
Wait, എനിക്ക് ഡെയിലീസിന്റെ മൂന്നാമത്തെ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ഒന്നും അറിയത്തില്ല.
Waiting and watching to stab you in the ass. You guys wanted this, so be sure to buy a Gem of True Sight. Otherwise, you won't be able to watch the history of Ricky. Ricky is a melee agility hero who can pick off squishy targets quickly and jump out of the fight.
Oh fuck, I forgot we can't.
Smoke screen is his first skill, which is having a small radius. Controlling silence and lowering the accuracy of all enemy units caught in AoE.
Okay, ഞാൻ 30 minutes കഴിഞ്ഞു വരാം.
Also have
Okay.
their vision radius reduced to 200.
ഇതെന്ത് പുതിയ
Blink
map
Strike is
ഓ?
a point and click
അത്
ability
പഴയ
that
map
allows
ആണോ?
Ricky to
ഇത്
jump
പുതിയ
behind a
map.
unit
അത്
and damaging them for a
പുതിയ
small
area
amount if
ആണോ?
they're an enemy. This skill can be cast on allied units, although they won't receive damage, which is still okay. Some units just slap them. Cloak and Dagger is a passive spell that grants permanent invisibility, as well as bonus auto attack.
Game is clunky as usual, so I guess.
Bricks of the Trade is Ricky's ultimate ability, having him combust into a mischievous
Smart
cloud of
bullet
knives
firing.
and striking random sort of like Silverdrag-N. These strikes also count as regular attacks, so they can pocket attack modifiers.
He forgot. Thank you for streaming. He forgot.
Before I get into my
Who forgot? Gorpo.
be aware that Ricky has a whole ton of different abilities, so I'm going to keep
Ayo.
Alright, let's move on. Ricky was part of the initial group of heroes released.
Okay. Pistol. Oh, actually, damn. Oh, pistol, give me Wingman legendary. Okay. Now I need to fight.
Prior to 6.00, Ricky's skill set could only be described as a walking temple. So Papa got a
Recharging my shields.
Ricky.
Don't die. No fucking way.
Exactly where you get the idea.
I'll need to do some
My new
cleansing.
murderer's ultimate here is
Pistol.
And yes, that
No
is the same
pistol,
death word as
really.
Witch Doctors.
Really no
This
pistol.
one does
Okay,
have
that's
higher
bullshit.
channel. That means while you're carelessly pushing away with your foe, the invisible threat of the stealth assassin will break from the shadows, lays that door down, and poke around the
Charging on my shields.
I guess Conduit is a very...
Heroes I've talked about and will be talking about, the stealth assassin started looking a lot more familiar once 6.00.
Not a support oriented.
Skills received a complete rework, making them feel a lot less generic overall. Blink and Cryptic Strike were replaced by Blink Strike and Dash. He also gained a new active spell and
Smart bullet deployed. Smart bullets found its mark.
Hey, come on, take. Never mind.
hyperactive action ninja he was previously named after. He also had the joke name of Ricky Martin, reminding me how popular it was to shake your bonbon and hold the locust back in the day. Ricky Maru also had his color changed to the more recognizable purple, and the more in his backstory, Ricky Maru trained them into mindless jungle.
Replenishing my shield.
Rather than sweeping it under the rug. In 6.04,
It is that Conduit's ult. I'm assuming that's what the ult does. I don't get what. Oh, so she slows people down.
giving the prince a form of escape that he so desperately needed.
Okay, this
in
is weird.
6.17, a whole slew of changes showered upon Smokescreen, reducing its miss chance, increasing the move speed slow, reducing the radius, and reducing the cooldown. In 6.55, Blink Strike moved Ricky behind the target instead of the front, which really makes the most sense when you think about it. This gives him the opportunity to immediately start proccing those backstabs and get the job done a whole lot quicker.
I need a pistol. Any pistol.
Plus its power to release an enemy unit, and it also fantastic.
What the hell is this? Oh, okay. Okay, you wanna fight?
Throwing it down like
Already on my
C-. His His abilities are a 1-to-1 port and are named Smoke Bomb.
Yes, Cyberpunk gang. Oh yeah, let's go. Cyberpunk വരുന്നു. Yo. അളിയാ പുതിയ സീസൺ എന്താ ഇങ്ങനെ? What the hell? ഞാൻ എല്ലാ സീസണും ഇത് തന്നെ പറയല്ലോ, but still. Wait. Okay, അതിന് സെപ്പറേറ്റ് ഇൻഡിക്കേറ്റർ ഉണ്ടല്ലേ? എക്സ്ട്രാ ഷീൽഡ് ആണോ പൊട്ടിയെ? Okay, ഇതിനായിരുന്നു സാധാരണ ലാസ്റ്റ് ടൈം. Oh yes baby. Yes baby pistol.
Bonus damage when attacking enemies from behind. Kali also shares the smoke screen, invisibility, and blink strike. Way different. Mobile Legends has an interesting take on the stealth.
50 damage, 100 damage, 150, 200. കൊള്ളാം ന്യൂ ലെജൻഡ്. ഞാൻ കളിച്ചില്ല, but I think ഒരു സപ്പോർട്ട് പോലെയാണെന്ന് തോന്നുന്നു. എനിക്ക് കാശില്ല വാങ്ങാൻ, to be honest. എപ്പോഴാ സീസൺ വന്ന്? ഇന്നലെയാണോ? ട്യൂസ്ഡേ അല്ലേ പൊതുവെ വരേണ്ടത്?
Although his name has been shortened to Ricky, his name is still
replenishing my shields. ഇന്നലെ നൈറ്റ് ഞാനും ഇന്ന് കളിച്ചായിരുന്നു. ഇന്ന് ഞാൻ വന്നപ്പോ എനിക്ക് ഒന്നും മനസ്സിലായി. ഗെയിം കംപ്ലീറ്റ്ലി അങ്ങ് ലാഗിങ് ആയിരുന്നു. വേറെ AR എന്തെങ്കിലും ഉണ്ടോ? ഹെംലോക്ക് ഉണ്ട്, ഹാവക്ക് ഉണ്ട്. പിസ്റ്റൾ ഡാമേജ് ആയി. ഇനി ഫിനിഷർ വേണം. കൊറേ ആനിമേ കാണാനുണ്ട്. എനിക്ക് കഴിഞ്ഞ ആഴ്ചത്തെ 3 ആഴ്ച മുമ്പുള്ള സാധനങ്ങൾ കാണാനുണ്ട് എനിക്ക്. ആ മാമി 3 ആഴ്ചയുള്ള ടെക്നിക്കലി ലാസ്റ്റ് സീസൺ ആനിമയാണ്. ബട്ട് Smart bullets found its mark.
Long-term goal.
I see.
And health regen were all reduced, so already not the best thing. This was offset by the fact that permanent invisibility changed from
ballistic
to a business spell, still providing invisibility, though it couldn't much more evade. The spell also provided him with passive agent.
ഇത് പുതിയ ഏരിയ ആണല്ലേ? ഇത് ബ്രോക്കൺ മൂണിലാണോ? ബ്രോക്കൺ മൂണിലാണെന്ന് തോന്നുന്നു കണ്ടിട്ട്.
Blink Strike became his new
ഓൾറെഡി ലോറൊന്നും എനിക്ക് അറിയത്തില്ല. സോ
by having the radius of the skill increase and the cooldown
Mr. Pathfinder.
Cloak and Dagger also had its damage scaling increase, so there you go.
And AR damage athre kandullu. But it doesn't matter. എനിക്ക് എന്തായാലും ഒരു VR കളിക്കണം. ഫിനിഷർ ഐഡിയലി അയക്കണം. സ്ട്രീം ഇടയ്ക്ക് ബഫർ ആവുന്നുണ്ട്. ഇപ്പോഴില്ല, എൻ്റെ സൈഡാണെന്ന് തോന്നുന്നു. അല്ലടാ, എൻ്റെ പെർഫോമൻസ് പൊതുവെ കുറവാണ്. എനിക്കറിയത്തില്ല. ഞാൻ ഇനി സിസ്റ്റം മൊത്തം ഒന്ന് ക്ലീൻ ചെയ്യാൻ വേണോ അതോ എൻ്റെ ഗ്രാഫിക്സ് കാർഡ് ശരിക്കും എന്തോ പ്രശ്നമാണോ? എനിക്ക് ഗ്രാഫിക്സ് കാർഡിന് പ്രശ്നം ഉണ്ടെന്നറിയാം, ബട്ട്
making an entire section of it seems like a possible depth zone.
Smart bullets hunting foe.
slash. Yeah.
നോക്കട്ടെ ഞാൻ ഇത് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് എനിക്ക് എത്ര പെർഫോമൻസ് വലിക്കുന്നുണ്ടെന്ന് നോക്കട്ടെ. ഇപ്പോൾ പ്രശ്നമില്ല. എനിക്കറിയത്തില്ലടാ, എൻ്റെ പെർഫോമൻസ് എന്തോ പ്രശ്നമുണ്ട്. എന്താ നോക്കണം. തോറ്റെന്ന് തോന്നുന്നു. ഓ ഷിറ്റ്, ഞാൻ ബാറ്റിൽ പാസിന്റെ കണ്ടൻസ് പോലും കണ്ടില്ല മര്യാദയ്ക്ക്.
If you don't believe in ghosts, now's a pretty good time to start. Mercurio the Spectre is Dota's spooky nuisance, able to take a beating, throw it down, flip it, and reverse it right back to you. Just when you think initiating a team fight might be the right idea, Spectre can haunt you in the game and likely haunt you in your dreams after the fact. Don't wander off alone, it's the history of Spectre. Spectre is an incredibly hard carry who is equal parts tank and ass beater, provided that Spectral Dagger sends a small projectile in a straight line or to a targeted unit and deals a small amount of damage to all enemy units caught by the spell.
This is nice. This is nice. This is okay. Not a big fan, but ഇതൊന്നും ഒച്ചാക്കൊച്ചാന്റെ കാല് പോലെ ഇരിക്കുന്നു കാണാൻ. What the hell? Weird. Lore അറിയത്തില്ല, so I can't read.
Apply to them. Dispersion is another passive ability that reduces damage that Spectre takes and reflects it back to all enemies in an AoE. The reflected damage becomes lower the further the target is away from Spectre. The ability is pretty much a game of stop hitting.
Oh damn! It's actually nice. Nice skin. Not gonna lie. Nice skin. Nice
illusion for all active enemy heroes in the game. Although they aren't as strong or durable as Spectre herself,
this is okay. I mean, not this is good. But not my style, I guess. Octane, like ആ തല ഭയങ്കര വിചിത്രമായിരിക്കുന്നു. But I guess they tried to like make a mini discount Iron Man, I guess. Oh, what is this? Oh, ramp. ഇത് rampage ആണോ? I think this is rampage അല്ലേ? Rampage ആണെന്ന് തോന്നുന്നു. Oh, this looks sick. Not gonna lie, this looks
reminiscent of what we have now, but with an emphasis of dishing out revenge
for
our enemies. With Phase, she gained movement speed and unobstructed movement
for
a moderate amount of time, kind of like having a built-in pair of Phase boots before they even
exist. ഈ സീസൺ ഒരു കുറച്ച് എഫർട്ട് ഇട്ട പോലെയുണ്ട്. What the hell?
Create illusions to beat them up. And since the versions I played for capturing footage didn't have AI opponents, you'll just have to use your imagination here. Wow.
Okay, let's see. Assault rifle.
Dispersion also worked differently, having a percentage.
Oh, finishing moves ഇതാണല്ലേ, weekly ആണല്ലേ. Okay.
This also comes with a mini
bad.
making it feel like you have the hiccups in a boxing match. Her old ultimate was Vengeance.
സ്റ്റോറിൽ ഇനി വാങ്ങുന്നു നിർത്തണം. എനിക്ക് കാശില്ല. ഞാൻ ലെവലപ്പ് ചെയ്യുന്നത് കുറവായതുകൊണ്ട് എനിക്ക് കാശില്ല. 0 out of 10. Follow what? Oh shit, man.
This feels like a case of top-down design where Iceberg wanted to create a hero that embodied the Avatar of Vengeance theme, and I dare say he did a good job at it. In 6.33, Mercurial had a rework and had her title renamed to Spectre as a result. Basic stat numbers were changed around, with the base attack damage having a huge increase. Phase was
ballistic. ഇതിപ്പോ എല്ലാം സിംഗപ്പൂർ സർവറിൽ നോക്കിയാലും ചൈനീസ് ആൾക്കാരാണല്ലോ എപ്പോഴും. വേറെ രാജ്യക്കാരും Apex കളിക്കാറില്ലേ? എന്താ സംഭവം?
What do you get for the girl who has everything?
More.
Vengeance was replaced by Destiny, and from here on out, Spectre would hold on to these 4 skills. There was also a small change in lore due to the title.
Badass crafting material save ചെയ്യുവാണോ? I mean അല്ല, എനിക്ക് ആകെ ക്രാഫ്റ്റിംഗ് മെറ്റീരിയൽ വെച്ച് വാങ്ങാനുണ്ടായിരുന്നത് ഇതായിരുന്നു, എന്ത് മറ്റേ ബാഡ് ബോട്ട് ആയിരുന്നു. അത് ഞാൻ വാങ്ങിയില്ല. എനിക്കറിയില്ല, ചിലപ്പോൾ മറ്റേ ഇവന്റ് ഒക്കെ വരുമല്ലോ, ലൈക്ക് മറ്റേ ലോബയുടെ പ്രസ്റ്റീജ് സ്കിൻ അപ്പാരന്റ്ലി ടീസ് ചെയ്തു എന്ന് ഞാൻ കേട്ടു. സോ അതിന് മറ്റേ ബാക്കപ്പ് സ്കിൻസ് ഉണ്ടല്ലോ, അതിലേതെങ്കിലും നല്ല ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ വാങ്ങാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ട്. ക്രാഫ്റ്റിംഗ് മെറ്റീരിയൽസ് ഞാൻ അവസാനം എന്താ വാങ്ങിയേ? ഓർമ്മയില്ല ഞാൻ അവസാനം എന്താ വാങ്ങിയത്.
6.65 made dispersion's reflect damage spread evenly throughout all units affected, making it the communism of passive effects. This means that while fighting large groups, this would deal significantly less damage.
Park this seat and you out.
I wonder what they thought.
Ideally, Mozambique.
Started dealing the same damage to all enemies again, although the damage is based on distance, which is what we have today. Heroes of Newer blessed the world by giving us Sand Wraith in October of 2009, which is befitting for the scary. A fair warning, this is not a dragon, doppelganger, or the worst of Mortons. Sand Wraith was originally a direct port of Spectre with a desert flare.
Next ring's quite the journey.
Desert's Curse,
Use ideal,
Deserted,
move softly, and carry
Mirage.
a glut of
Combining
firearms.
his model, which is essentially a sandy skeleton, I'd give Newark an A+ for their interpretation. Sand Wraith's voice lines are pretty fun too. I mean, there isn't much you can do for what is essentially a dry ghost, so he has a pretty generic voice.
Shredded that. Smart bullet away.
45 seconds until I
What's
see
worth
someone
noting is
over
upon
there.
casting Desert's Curse,
Enemy over here.
and apparently he has the side job of doing
Save next year anniversary event കാണും. I mean next year ന് വേണ്ടി ഞാൻ ഇപ്പോഴേ സേവ് ചെയ്യണോ? അത് കുറച്ചാ too much അല്ലേ? I mean yeah, granted ഞാൻ ഇതെല്ലാം സേവ് ചെയ്താൽ എനിക്ക് ഒറ്റ ഇവന്റിൽ വേണമെങ്കിൽ കംപ്ലീറ്റ് മാക്സ് ഔട്ട്. I don't think that's going to happen. But
taking notes from Reaper's wardrobe, it looks like his two passives were replaced.
We put that whole
അളിയാ ഫിനിഷർ നോ, ഞാൻ ഫിനിഷർ അടിക്കാനാണ് വന്നത്. ഫ്രീ ആയിരുന്നു. ഓ ആക്ച്വലി പക്ഷെ അവരുടെ അല്ലേ കിട്ടൂ, കാരണം ഷാർട്സ് അല്ലല്ലോ കിട്ടല്. അതെനിക്ക് ആവശ്യമില്ല. ഐ മീൻ അൺലെസ് കോസ്റ്റിക്കിന്റെ പുതിയ ഹെയർലൂമാണ്. കോസ്റ്റിക് ഹെയർലൂം
His green Dustbringer is the most obvious parallel to Spectre, as it shoots out a projectile and leaves a dust trail that grants Nocturne attack damage, move speed, and he ignores unit collision.
Shards അല്ലേ for anniversary event? Shards ആണോ? ഓ യാ ശരിയാണല്ലേ. അല്ല പക്ഷെ കഴിഞ്ഞ anniversary shards കിട്ടിയായിരുന്നു. എനിക്ക് ഓർമ്മയില്ല to be honest.
It isn't too similar to Desolate in terms of the overall effect, but it is a good way to pick off a single target. His ultimate, Paranoia, reduces the sight of all enemy champions and activating it again allows him to dash at a long distance toward an enemy, acting like a much creepier version of Haunt. I remember playing Nocturne when he came out, and he felt like a more active mobile version of Spectre. But take a look at this. Haunting Nocturne? What kind of ghost would have
എനിക്ക് ഓർമ്മയില്ല. ബട്ട് റെസ്റ്റ് റെസ്റ്റ് ഷാർട്സ് ആയിരുന്നു. ആൾക്കാർ പറയുന്നുണ്ടായിരുന്നില്ല ഈ ആനിവേഴ്സറി ഇവന്റിൽ അവരെന്തോ മാറ്റി, അതാണെന്ന് തോന്നുന്നു. കാരണം ഷാർട്സ് ഉള്ളത് എനിക്ക് ഓർമ്മയില്ല.
Wait, what's going on? Oh god!
Beleza. Another beautiful
Spectre
piece.
was brought into Dota 2 in August 2011 during TI1. A few design notes to bring up. Spectre's model has a face appearance with a primarily purple shade, almost acting like a silhouette, much like the Spectre also started out with a big hula hoop weapon, bearing more resemblance to her Warcraft form. Her voice lines also have a unique effect where two tracks would play at the same time, a normal one playing regularly, and another that has the same voice line reversed. This is somewhat a reference to the Avatar of Vengeance, whose voice lines are a reverse of Maid Shadow Song's responses, although Spectre sounds more like a sad girl than an obsessive warden. Spectre's lore is also pretty basic as far as stories go. Spectre is a being of intense and violent energies that is attracted to battles happening in the physical world. Being some kind of otherworldly effigy, Spectre's item descriptions build upon that idea, and they usually mention that the way she perceives senses are very different from what humans can even comprehend. On February 12th, 2019, during the New Bloom update, the Mercurial's Call item was released as part of one of the stretch goals for the TI4 prize pool. Once it hit $7.2 million, players were able to vote on an alternative voice for any hero in the game, and Spectre had the honor of winning the vote. The item itself can be equipped to give Spectre a new set of voice lines, sounding more like a ghost than whatever kind of space demon Spectre actually is. For the most part, her personality is much more aggressive. Moving on to the changes, 6.73 made it so Dispersion no longer disables blinks or consumables, which I fully support because the least we could do to fight a rampaging Spectre is having the option to run away. On a patch released in December 2012, Spectre had a model update, changing from the big something resembling the alligator from Jackals. It's a really good manga. Look it up. Even though the reaction to the new weapon wasn't the best because change is bad and change is scary, it did come with a funny bug. On occasion, if you activated Haunt, the illusions would carry both weapons at the same time, granting you the best of both worlds. On January 17, 2013, Spectre's icons were updated too. I'm not sure which one of these I like more than the other, but I can say that without a doubt, neither of these look as good as the old beta icons. In 6.79, Reality's cooldown was reduced from 8 seconds to 0, and its cast point was also reduced to 0. This means that you can down using a singular target to receive the ghost hands. In 6.84, Dispersion's damage
please, down
which made the spell have much more utility in the late game, especially if Warlock's Golems keep trying to take
aggressive.
Reality also started rather than destroying them. With this, you could juke your enemies a lot more and really confuse them with your position on the map.
Ballistic attacker,
Desolate could work against non-heroes, and with this, you may as well take that range creep and paint a big fat target over its head because Spectre is coming for that ass. 7.00 introduced Spectre's talents, and these might be by far the most boring set of talents I have ever seen. They don't really affect how you play Spectre all too much, but one side emphasizes damage, while the other one narrows down on the tankiness. 7.07 made her talents a little more fun because they at least include her ability. That said, they're all pretty bland. Luckily, Desolate gained another passive component that reduced the target's vision by a certain amount for 5 seconds when applied. I love any and all abilities that impose panic onto an enemy player, and this is no exception. This also fits in well with the ghost motif, so I'm in for Stella. To wrap things up, 7.07c made it so that Desolate pierced spell immunity, at the cost of reducing its overall damage. This is a case of sacrificing early game potency for late game consistency, and with Spectre being such an item-dependent late game hero, I'll gladly take it. Spectre, you and I may have our differences, and you're a loose cannon, but damn it, you get results.
I think you know
Mercurial starts the game off as frail and unthreatening like Casper the Friendly Ghost, with enough support and love, she can become unstoppable, like Amida Maru,
Never mind.
Ken Kaneki,
Extended
or
sniper mag here.
Casper the Friendly
Level
Ghost.
3. Got an enemy right here.
I'm Dennis the Tall,
Target there.
Taking fire. Please follow my shooting.
Enemy here. Watch their confidence fade.
Got a drill scope.
Shot at.
Finally. Please, some peace and quiet. Wait. That counts, right? That counts. Please. The count in Vara. That counts, right? No! First finisher of the season. In the scene, not even one W. Two പേരുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. These Chinese people. I mean, in the team no racist comment intended. എനിക്ക് അവരുടെ പേര് അറിയത്തില്ല, അവരുടെ affinity അറിയത്തില്ല. The only thing I know is that they're using the finisher കിട്ടി എന്ന് വിചാരിച്ചാണ് ആ രണ്ടാമത്തെ അറിവ്.
More dangerous based on the amount of souls in his possession. Shadow Raise is his first skill, and it grants him 3 different active spells. Shadow Raise Near, Shadow Raise Medium, and Shadow Raise Far. All of the spells do the same thing. Deal a burst of magic damage in an AoE, and apply
care package incoming.
Which causes the next
Does your
Shadow Raise
generation
to deal
usually
extra
require
damage.
this
The
level?
only difference between the spells is their distance. They all cast at different ranges depending on which one you use. These spells have cooldowns independent from each other.
Recharging my shields.
Is a passive spell that grants Shadow Fiend more damage based on the amount of souls he has.
I need a hop up. Skull piercer.
Presumably because he doesn't have pockets. What with the whole being a demon and all.
Make a beeline to it, Cuzzy.
Why, yes.
That reduces the armor of nearby enemy units. Imagine that. Being
ഇന്നേതെങ്കിലും anime വരുമോ? നാളെ ജെജെക്ക് നാളെയാണെന്ന് തോന്നുന്നു വരുന്നത്.
Extra treasures here. You're welcome.
Maybe someday. Requiem of Souls is a spell that shoots out pain beams all around Nevermore.
Actually, never mind. Sounds ഉണ്ടാക്കണ്ട.
Rolling that way.
Each line
Indeed.
Let's make a getaway
My
with this
ultimate's
gravity
ready.
cannon.
Prepare for war. Spotted our foe there.
I'm up cannon. Got some.
Smart bullets hit the foe. Watch their confidence fade. Reloading.
Okay, come on. Come on.
Back up line.
Fuck.
Blimey.
Gonna drill some sense into you. Charging my shield, cousin. Hold on.
That looks like that looks like me. That's me. That's me. No, no, no. Okay, fuck you. Wow.
Crack that egg shield. Scramble that egg. Come on, I still need you. Skull of the Phoenix kid. Egg shooting me. I cracked an enemy shield. Recharging my shield. Under grab. Here's a sec. Recharging my shield.
Thank you.
We executed the last foe. On your feet, Njan. We've got work to do. Forget I said that. Opening fire. Reloading. Shot at. By the gods. Don't revive me. It's not safe.
Come on. Let's go. Even. Adin the other guy.
Kill leader. Once again, violence solves all our problems.
Recharging my shields.
Watch out, enemy there. No one.
The nerve.
Fuck here.
Enough, Jordan.
Ah, fuck off. The hell. Okay, you know what? BRB and food BRB.
Someone traveled through here.
Or at every other level. This was probably done to balance the early Shadow Fiend was also no longer allowed to build Mantis. This was because Dark Plains could appear on Nevermore's illusion. This case also took place before illusion release.
Let's get you back on your feet, Kapatid.
Except with this, attack damage and movement speed reduction. He would also release a number of spirits equal to the amount of gathered souls with Necromastery +1. This means that he can shoot out 31 spirits in total, and if you couldn't hit someone with that, then you should get your eyes checked. Optical health is very important and can cause troubles down the line if not attended to at an early age. Since Dark Plains was no longer an issue, Shadow Fiend was allowed to buy Mantis style again in this patch. 6.09b reduced the number of lines created for Requiem of Souls to 1 line for every 2 souls Shadow Fiend has stored. To balance this nerf, the damage was increased for each line, and the movement speed and attack damage reduction became a flat amount instead of decreasing with distance. The Necromastery was also reverted back to 1, 3, 5, 6, bringing things back to normal. Shadow Fiend had his likeness represented in Heroes of Newerth by Soulstealer, although they're so blatantly similar that he should come with a DeviantArt logo and a disclaimer that this is an original character, do not steal. Even his lore is written with a certain edge that can only be found in the notebooks of a hot topic connoisseur. Gathering the spirits of those he killed in a bloody, shadowy sack, he augments his own powers with their suffering. And those who see him quake in terror to know that death, for them, will be no release, but only a fiery captivity and oblivion. His skills are a 1-to-1 port of Shadow Fiend, and they're named
shit, innum kore anime vannalle. Okay, idu njan kandu. Idendu pudhiya slime vannalle. Yeah. Kannam. Kazhinja aഴ്ചയുടെ One Piece kandilla. Kazhinja aഴ്ചയുടെ Pokemon kandilla. Idu njan kandu. Love you minna. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Idu njan kandu. Idu njan kandilla.
ഇത് ഞാൻ കണ്ടു.
Fear not, though, because the grim dark demon continues right into Heroes of the Storm with Diablo. Characteristics with Shadow.
Never met a problem a dibutyl phthalate compound explosive couldn't fix.
Yeah, whatever he said.
I gave up a nice, quiet evening for this.
Small amount for each one stored, and if he has 100 with
Love
the guys,
you,
the
love
souls
you,
will all
love you,
disappear, though he will
Minna.
resurrect in 5 seconds.
This is
Although
your
Firestorm
champion.
has been reworked recently, it originally unleashed a wave of fire from the
My fans watching.
ഇന്ന് ഇത് വന്നു, കാഗനോ ജെത്സുയോക്ഷ വന്നു, അത് കാണണം.
I am the jump master.
Highest, highest, I'm going in. Gonna subete, imakakete.
Shooting star.
Kada hito ni sodoku made, onene nobashite. ഓ, അവർ ഇമോട്ട് വീടും സ്കൈ ഡൈവ് വീടും രണ്ട് സാധനമാക്കി അല്ലേ? ഐ ഡോണ്ട് നോ ഇഫ് ദാറ്റ്സ് ഗുഡ് ഓർ ബാഡ്, ബട്ട് whatever. ഓ, ഞാൻ ആൾക്കാരുള്ളടത്ത് ചാടണമായിരുന്നു അല്ലേ? നോ 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 വാട്ട്? എളി ഫക്ക് ഓഫ് കളിയാ.
Edgar Allan Poe poem, The Raven. In his first model, Nevermore had the head of a canine skull and
അറ്റ്ലീസ്റ്റ് എനിക്ക് ഡിജി ത്രെറ്റ് ഉണ്ട്, തോക്കില്ലാതെ. ഡിജി ത്രെറ്റ് പേടിപ്പിക്കാം.
Gathering materials.
servers. Shadow Fiend's head is replaced with what can only be described as a non-ram.
Oh yeah, forgot that's a thing. Okay. Pistol. Oreno pistol. Okay. Give me a gun.
To go squirming from the ground to lash at its enemies. Meanwhile, Nevermore looks like he had a demonic skull as a face.
Ideally, എനിക്കൊരു heavy gun വേണം.
As his concept was more solidified,
We've got a minute
Oh,
till the ring
മോനെ.
closes.
overall,
Time to
with
pull
his
up
eyes and
stakes.
chest caps only with
Oh,
burning
got
light.
some prey
This
right
was
here.
changed not too long after
Flatline
the
here.
familiar icon set in December of 2011.
Well then, we have a new kill leader.
Oh, not that bad.
Various pieces of concept
Extended
art
heavy
were
mag
given
here.
out, with Shadow
Level
Fiend
3.
being one of the
Rings
subjects.
close.
Here,
45
the
seconds
six
on the
designs
I need a
combine
backpack.
two
That's a
common
Prezi
threads,
for Fusey.
namely the big spiky shoulders, the shattered chest look, and a solid colored aura mixed in with a solid
Oh, this is
black
not bad. Oh wait, this is really not bad. Okay.
2014, also known
ഒരു റിംഗ് കൺട്രോളറായി,
30 on the clock.
റിംഗ് സാധനമായി. എനിവേസ്
I defined the ring's next location
He also
and marked it on your
created
maps.
called the Demon Eater, which came as the result of him
Stand
stealing
back,
thought it
knuckle
was
cluster
enemy
regular
firing.
soul overtaking Shadow
Here
Fiend's
comes
body.
the old knuckle
Nerdy lore
cluster.
justification
Let 'em
aside,
rip.
the item makes him appear more like a Fire Lord of
Come on.
Warcraft, which he was based
Come
on.
on, ഒരാള്
Seconds and the
Shadow
ring's
Fiend's
closed.
interactions with the other heroes are somewhat limited.
cracked the
His
target shield.
contributions to
Okay.
the lore
Opening fire
include
on
an
our
entire
prey.
language.
Okay.
The demons
Reloading.
of Dota 2 speak a language
I'm on my way.
Prey there.
that was created by the team.
Knuckle cluster out. Watch the cloud over there. Cracked an enemy shield. Reload.
Frag out.
While listening
Reloading.
to Shadow Fiend's interactions with Doom and
The dark piercer. Watch out! Enemies here.
weakest of the trio.
I'll give them a piercing or two.
Juicing me shield.
Has you covered in his orgasm video. With this new information in your head,
I like
you
this
can now
spot's
insult
energy.
your
Let's
rivals
go.
in chat using this handy phrase. Yeesh, aha,
Care package coming down from the stars.
Got a mark in my sight. Right here.
I'll give them a piercing or two.
Grenade.
Serving them a knuckle sandwich.
Okay. Come on, I can do it. Finish. Oh, let's go.
Down. Right here.
Through the money.
അയ്യോ, ഞാൻ മരിച്ചുപോയി. I don't know how.
overall course of the game, being able to deal 325 damage on the floor was just enough to speed up his
ഈസി എന്ത് പറയാനെന്ന് അറിയത്തില്ല. ദിസ് ഇസ് ടു ഈസി ഫോർ മീ.
This could limit his potential.
എനിവേസ് 9. ഓക്കെ, ഐ ഗെസ് മാക്സിമം ലെവലായി.
He also received his first Aghanim
Oh, this ain't that bad.
causing Requiem of Souls to return back
I
to
guess.
Shadow Fiend after it shoots out.
2 star കിട്ടി, so I guess ഒരു ലെവലായി. Oh, that's
Good
fine.
way to ensure some longevity.
Anyways, എത്ര നേരമായി ഞാൻ?
The Ag Scepter upgrade
2:30.
also passes
Yeah, I
along
guess
with the
ഇന്നത്തേക്ക് ഞാൻ സ്ട്രീം നിർത്തുകയാണ്. And I guess since പുതിയ സീസൺ വന്നുകൊണ്ട് ഡെയിലി Apex is back for the next foreseeable future. So until next time, പതിവ് പോലെ goodbye, GG's and to be continued. Bye bye. Thanks Alayo. Bye.
especially when you consider how boring the other 7.00 talent